And we are live. What's going on, everybody?
Hello.
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 How's it going?
How's everyone doing? Sorry for the bit of late start. We had a little bit of technical difficulties on our end, so we apologize for that. But
Oops.
yeah, that happens. We're still getting there, still figuring things out. 13 weeks in. Anyway, we have a couple announcements, I believe. None on my end, but I think we got some new followers, Mac.
Yeah, we have one brand new follower, Sud XS. Thanks, homie, guy or girl or other. Also, Poatopus has re-upped their subscription 2 months in a row now. Thanks.
Let's go.
Much
That's a
appreciated.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Liam, there's an Instagram post coming soon, if I'm correct.
Yeah, so I know this was mentioned again last week. But sometimes things happens. It's normal. But eventually another Instagram post will come up with our new character or moreover new player that has joined the party, though it's still run by Kate. Again, is Velkin. That should hopefully come up next week. But some stuff's kind of going on personally. But it will go up. I promise it will go up.
There will
It
be
shall
a
go up.
post. at
There
some
will
point.
be a post. Y'all will get some tasty extra stuff about Vulcan. Vulcan. The fuck? Velkin.
Vulcan.
But yeah. So
It's all right. Vulcans
Alright,
are kind of
yeah.
like space elves, right?
There we go.
and Velkin's an elf.
We don't know that she's
Eh,
not
well,
from space. to be
Yeah.
fair.
Well. Yeah.
I mean, not too far off.
Who knows?
Honestly, the opposite of space. But anyway, I think that's everything. If everyone's ready to jump in, roll some dice.
Let's get
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
JB, give me 1 second.
Your 1 second is up.
Bring me in, DM. Immerse me.
Here we go.
We're here.
Immerse me.
Shower me with your narrative.
Immerse
We're
me.
here. Think.
It's like,
Sorry.
it's something about that ring, like bad. I don't know.
Apologies.
Immerse me, daddy. Immerse me.
all right.
Yeah,
take
that's
it
too
back.
far. Took it way too far. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. We continued our adventure as the party found themselves one with a new companion on the road to Hardcastle, eventually to make their way to the Great Rift, in which is supposed to house something called the Black Stargate, which you all find as a major threat. Cassis one being told that he must close it to remove his contract from Cade Snow. And overall, it doesn't sound like a very nice thing to have open. You know, you were on the trail of at least members of the Five Blades. You've heard the name Sloane a couple times. You do know that Redrick, one member of your party, is hunting this man, Sloane. He is somehow involved alongside other parties as well. On the trail is what I would say you are all on. It is quite the distance, the Great Rift from the place that you were previously at, Elbrodor, few hundred miles. But we began last session with a little bit of a training session between our friend Calder and Isaiah, who decided to descend into the river, the shallower part in the river, and have a sparring session, which Calder mistakenly smote Isaiah. Maybe mistakenly, maybe not. Maybe very purposely.
Sorry, homie.
Yeah, wrecked his
No
shit.
worries.
Just before Oof decided that he was going to intervene as well. But some shenanigans were had. Some dreams were had. Some mysterious dreams had entered, and voices entered the minds of Ren. The mind of Ren, once again. A familiar deep voice has been plaguing her since your time in the Looming Grove, and you making contact with the tree. This time, seeing a rather familiar memory of a time whenever your brothers once sparred and were training together, and it was actually a fond memory of yours because it was the one time Briar was actually able to overcome his older brother Logan in a sparring match in the alley. Very similar to Calder and Isaiah. It's probably what sparked the memory in general. But the ending was much different than you remember. As your older brother Logan, his wooden rapier turning into a real one at the very end and piercing Briar in the chest right before your kind of vision was pulled out. The voice being still kind of residing in your head at this point, but weakening at the same time. Saying some odd things, pretty much telling you to bring me him. You kind of got the sense that he was, whatever this entity in your mind is searching for someone that he called Dragon Touched, which you obviously assumed was Redrick because of his physical features. Obviously housing, the claws and the tail sometimes, and even a snout of a dragon. That's a brief summary of that. We continued on our journey. On the road, Redrick, you actually heard the screams of fire and the screams of help on the side of the road. You were the only one that actually heard it. Turning to the party, all of you decided to rush off and aid. And as you got further and further into the Chondlewood, you didn't see any signs of fire, see the light of a fire, the smell of smoke. Instead, it was rather quiet. Until you began to smell a very foul stench of rot and began to hear the creepy little voices, kind of resembling a child in need of help, beginning to surround you. And emerging from the forest itself, these foul-looking creatures that had the head of a badger, the body of a hyena, and the legs of a stag. This kind of mishmash of all these different type of creatures emerged, and you guys took them on rather successfully, quickly dispatching these creatures. They also had the same kind of resembling blue, glowing blue eyes that you fought some other entities before, but nonetheless, you were successful in defeating these monstrosities, not really knowing too much or what they were in general. Quickly moving back to the cart and the horses, you made your way. Eventually, you found yourself at the back of a line, a very, very long line outside of the village of Torsh, a small village mainly known for its cleanliness. When I say cleanliness, pretty much the well-preparedness of its town, how neatly it has been set up, rather uniformly, evenly spaced buildings, the roads are really well kept, etc., etc. In line, you talk to an older gentleman who explained to you that the only time he ever has moved up in this line in the last 4 days, whenever somebody got frustrated and ended up turning around, heading back the way that they came. Taking matters into your own hands, you decided to kind of cut line and skip to the front. Where a few curious things happened. A gentleman tried to escape after being caught smuggling some weapons by a large Goliath-like hand. But all in all, you approached the gentleman who seemed to be guarding this crudely built barricade that kind of stretched across the road itself and the entryway into the village of Torsh, which you could see a little ways off in the distance. This guy, he introduced himself as a member of the Emerald Enclave, which is well known to some of you, but mostly Velkin knows that the Emerald Enclave is really based out of Waterdeep and on the western parts of the continent. So it was kind of odd to see them this far east. He told you that there were some curiosities happening in this small little village, that the Emerald Enclave were the ones who policed this general area. And they were here because there were some problems happening within the town. All he really told you was murder, livestock missing, But he really seemed uninterested in your entire party, other than the fact that you guys seemed to carry weapons. Was pretty much probably the only reason you guys were allowed granted entry, and a little bit of persuasion. You were allowed entry, but not before having to all personally sign this large ledger that he carried with him. Some of you forged names, obviously. Others wrote their real names. But he also asked the name for your mercenary group, which you guys, I completely forget. What was it? Oh, sorry. The Forgotten Few. Yeah, the Forgotten Few. Pretty forgetful. I get it. The Forgotten Few. So that's where we kind of left off, outside this small village. You can see probably, a quarter of a mile out in front of you. You can see the standing structures. Just from here, you could probably estimate that the small village doesn't have more than probably one or two-story buildings, but they can be seen kind of evenly spaced out. Your estimation probably 90 or so buildings, so it's not too small, but it's not too big either. You can tell that this is nothing but really probably a farmstead turned into a village. Eventually, it just kind of grew out into this small village. As you were kind of entering into this space, pockets of homes and farms, you could see all sorts of number of livestock as you were kind of funneling into this line. Alongside the man who took your name, there was also, like I said, the Goliath who had walked on ahead of all of you. You are now kind of ushered a little bit of a way next to a half-elven woman who has sort of this dirty blonde hair tied up in a big knot. But after a little bit, the rest of you, she kind of waves you on, and she turns back towards the checkpoint. But I do know, Isaiah, you wanted to do something before you moved past the checkpoint, so we can start there if you would like.
Yeah, he's probably just gonna hang a little bit back behind everybody and go up to the person with the book. And excuse me, we all had to sign that. You said everybody going through here has to sign. Is that? Yeah. Is that book public information or private just to you?
What are you asking? Are you looking for a name?
Would it be possible to look?
Quite frankly, no. Not possible. Sorry. A lot of people waiting.
Well, of course. So you should talk to them, and I could just hold the book over here real quick while you talk to them and get everything sorted out with the first people, right? I mean, it's...
Who exactly are you looking for?
It's just a name. It's somebody I missed in our last town, so I figured maybe they came down this road. I mean, it's the only road from Elboder, so...
Make me a deception check.
Damn. I used to be good at these things. Hey, I'm still median, so 10 minus 1 is 9.
Who are you looking for, really?
It's just the one name, Indira Bakshi. It's probably not common around these parts. I just want to know sort of a family member.
Daughter? Wife? Mistress?
Sure, one of those.
It's not for free. Kind of hands out his hand.
What is a name worth? I'll hand him
Good.
5 gold.
He takes it and he kind of rubs it in his hands. Give me a persuasion check with 5 gold.
Okay. Different die.
Of a name.
You got this.
Better at that one.
What is a name worth? That's a good question.
Not 5 gold.
So the first one was 10 minus 1 to be 9. This one was an 8 plus 1 to be 9.
To be 9.
It's a
The
9
9?
kind of night.
He just kind of holds his hand out.
All right. Why don't you tell me what it costs to take a look at the book then?
It's a large book. It may take me some more time. Say 3 more gold for the trouble.
You know what? You were doing me a kind favor. Here's a little tip on top, and I'll give him another 4.
Well, okay then. It will take me some time. Do you know how long ago she passed through?
She was about a week or so ahead of me. But we did spend some time in Elboder, so up to 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Give me some time. You're heading into the village. I will find you
Much appreciated.
around nightfall.
Thank you. And I scurry off, so I don't mess up by speaking
Yeah.
anymore.
You go on with your cart.
Yeah.
As he kind of just his eyes just fall on Ook as the big metallic ape-like figure just sits in the cart, kind of weighing the cart on one side. You can tell.
It's like scraping the tire on that side now.
Yeah.
Before you said it was a half elf woman.
Mm-hmm.
Before she kind of waves us forward, excuse me, miss. There was somebody. I think the gentleman at the checkpoint said we were supposed to speak with. Who was that?
The captain.
Captain. What's their name?
He kind of just continues to walk. Maybe you should ask her.
All right. Sure.
I don't know if she would like me giving out her name.
Okay.
I guess what is it? We're being led by both the Goliath and the woman. As we start being led, I kind of perk up, speaking in giant, more toward the Goliath. What is your name?
The Goliath is not with your party currently. He has moved on
Oh.
ahead. As soon as he caught the guy that was trying to run, he pretty much issued him, and he was told to take him into town.
Ah, then never mind. Apology.
Catch him later. Okay, where do we find this captain?
Hold on, I'm having trouble here.
Just see the lights
Yin.
flashing in your face.
Town Square.
Well, like
Go
all of
back
my
to
tabs, all of my tabs seem to be selected as one tab currently. So
Very nice.
What? That's wild.
anytime I try to drag one tab, it's just not working. So
Wild.
also, when I try to scroll, is just zooming. So I'm going to close.
That's where meandering on through town. Yeah, I guess meandering on through town. You said there's a lot of livestock. I'm just gonna try to keep stock about how many I see. So, all right, maybe there's about 5 cows. There's what, maybe 15 sheep. Maybe about 8 pigs. See some cats. See some sheep herding dogs.
Sorry, guys.
That's right. Yeah, fine.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
Thing,
I don't know livestock that's around here. I'm not from here. So that's just the basic assumption. I see maybe about 3 alpacas, a couple llamas. I don't fucking know.
Okay, we are back. Sorry about that. Okay.
Hey, there you go.
Control Delete your life. It's the way to work.
Well,
So as you
I feel like
guys
it.
are issued into town, you get closer and closer. You can tell that the roads are well kept. That the buildings here themselves seem to be built strictly out of wood and thatch. You can see as you're entering, there's not much activity on the street. It is completely, I wouldn't say completely silent. You see people walking to and fro, but not too many. And down the big center, the road that kind of led off the path, it turns into wooden slats, almost abruptly at the beginning of town. You can see like a fence, a small fence kind of surrounds the outskirts of the town. And as you would say, the entrance of the town is just wooden slats, and they seem to be well put together, all in a line. And you can just tell they lead up far, probably about the half mile that the town sits, into and you can see what it looks like a longhouse at the very, very end of it with these 2 massive wooden doors. Just from this distance, you're able to see, because this building stands above all the rest. Its roof itself coming to a flatter steeple-like point, but it is all made of wood as well. The largest building in this entire town that you can see.
Kinda
Like I
posted
said
by the
before.
captain.
Like I said before, it's very uniform. Each of these buildings that are lined up it's just right next to each other, evenly spaced throughout as you're kind of walking down, almost like an old Western style, like old West town in a way. Except the buildings kind of do fall behind one another. There are small little alleyways and pathways that you would have to go down to reach the buildings that are behind the ones in the front. Falcon, you do know the reputation of this place is to be rather well kept. If any damage has ever come to this village of Torsh, the villagers get together and work together quickly to repair things. But as you all are kind of walking down the main street, you don't get too far before you begin to see destruction everywhere. You see one of the buildings completely missing a corner of its roof and just kind of scattered into the center of the road where you guys kind of have to scoot around. You do see a couple villagers as you pass quickly close their door. You can see just a brief moment of like skin before the door closes. Has this odd sense about it. You can see alongside one of the buildings being completely ripped apart, a few of them themselves have minor damage, like windows shattered, porches kind of collapsed and destroyed. You see barrels and crates that have been spilled over. It seems like some sort of chaos has happened here, but the most extent of the damage you see is that one building kind of ripped from a corner down. You can almost see like the top loft area of it. A few other buildings have minor damage, but something has happened here recently. So the clean reputation of this place is obviously not holding up. But you don't see much activity like you would maybe even like the villagers would normally, go about their daily business and such like that. You do see a general store that sits taller than the rest. Its windows are closed with wooden slats. It seems kind of dead in this town.
As we walk by, like that big rubble, it's kind of like seems like a little more than a missing cattle. But failed to fill us in on the rest there.
What? Don't mind asking. What did this?
Who are you asking? You are with your party, and that is it currently.
Oh, so
Half-elf
wow.
wandered off already.
Mm-hmm.
damn.
It looks like maybe they got a.
She led you pretty much to the entrance of town. Didn't say much other than go figure out my captain's name yourself and turn around back towards probably what her main duty is watching.
It looks like maybe they got attacked the way Obeldo did.
Did it look like this on your way west, Pelican?
What was that?
Did Velkin pass other destruction along her like this?
You did not come through Torsh on your way to Elbador. So you're not too sure.
What about would she have passed through any other villages, towns that
It's probably small, little tiny settlements and villages. Nothing like had too much destruction or anything like that.
Okay. She'll look to Isaiah. She kind of brushes her hair over her shoulder and she says, not that I can recall. I only passed through a few small villages, but nothing to this extent.
Understandable.
Questions for the captain? We best be on.
Yeah.
Well, walk forward and try to enter the building.
Okay. So you're just gonna walk through town until you get to the large longhouse, essentially.
Isaiah is already making notes on the amount of material he's going to need to fix things.
And as you continue, you get closer and closer to the longhouse. The damage actually of this village is more extensive than you think. Some buildings almost losing their entire foundation and kind of collapsed in on each other. As you get closer and closer. When you get to probably about 10 or 15 feet outside of the longhouse in this pile of sandy dirt, you can see, all of you, remnants of these large blood pools that have kind of been, whatever had left them is no longer there, is just blood-stained earth. right? And it seems to be kind of sporadic, but in a concentrated area, if that makes sense. So there's multiple pools in one kind of concentrated area.
Along the way to where we are now, is there just like no one out at all? Like it's just
Right.
totally barren? Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Can we tell how fresh the blood is as opposed to, because it's been a couple weeks, at least over a week since the incident over in Elbador.
Yeah. So go ahead and give me an investigation or medicine check. Up to you.
Let's do where's my investigation. Oh, let's do medicine. 11.
It's still wet. So if that helps, I mean,
Okay.
I can't give you an exact time period. But it's darker. Like it didn't happen just 30 minutes ago, but it's definitely still
Relatively ish fresh.
Yep.
There, especially in this area that sort of looks almost like either an execution site or a battlefield, are there like remnants of weapons or things that would have been either weapons or like something to hang people from and butcher them or something like that?
Give me a perception check.
Hey, much better. Still not great at it, so that's 14.
14. So just to kind of give you guys a lay of the land, the longhouse kind of sits about 30 or so feet away from the rest of the village. So there is this like gap that is between the longhouse and the village. The wooden slats still lead up to the large staircase, the large and wide staircase that kind of lead up to these large doors that would gain you entry to this building. So, but it's kind of surrounding this longhouse that you see these sporadic splotches of blood. Now if you were looking out the front doors, it would be on the right side of the stairs, but from your guys' perspective is on the left side. So, and it is concentrated on that left side. So you kind of gauge and you look around, almost trying to get a look at the perimeter of this place. It seems like the blood is kind of set in that one 10 to 15 foot area. You don't see any signs of any weapons or remnants of a battle. With a 14, yeah, that would probably be what you can gauge from what you can tell. That building that is closest to the longhouse is the building that I was referring to whenever that kind of almost looks like it has collapsed in on itself. You do notice also, Isaiah, that the Chondawood itself, this village sits relatively close, probably another 40 to 50 feet until you get to the wood line. Yeah, so they have built sort of themselves into, I won't say into the wood, because you can tell that the buildings haven't got into the wood yet, but they may have removed the wood to start building and kind of expanding. So they're relatively close to the Chondawood.
And just another curiosity for this scene. Do like some buildings seem like fine? Like some just seem like untouched? Okay.
Yeah, and the longhouse itself doesn't seem like it has sustained any damage. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Just getting lay of the land. Well, think that's where we'll find the captain. Anywhere. Kind of point to the longhouse.
Just more of a curious question. Any of the buildings that do have damage, do they happen to stand out? Is there anything about them that seems different to ones that have been untouched? Or it just kind of just seems random?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. Give me a perception check.
Alright. Ooh, gotta pull up my character sheet. And Perception, that is a 20 total.
20 total. It seems like it has a sense of randomness to it, but you can see, Egval, as you kind of just look back, like towards the way you guys came, you can tell that something had definitely made its way from the way you guys came through town in the direction. It kind of seems like you can tell that it only hit what would be your right side if you're looking out the way you came. Something it looks like something had come that way. We're not too sure what, but it looks like it had carved a decent path to where you stand now. Kind of following that path, you can tell that it looks like it headed back towards the Chondawood. You also see drag marks, like these little deep grooves, and probably about, I don't know, 3 or 4 foot wide that kind of drag towards the Chondawood itself. You can see the blood kind of following it as well.
Don't like that.
No, not quite.
I don't know.
Seems like maybe not things attack, but thing attacked. We had imps, and there was a lot of minor damage. But this seems singular on direct path. Went to woods for some reason.
Maybe it went back to the woods after attacking the town.
But why would come? Has to do with imp attacks. Makes no sense. Why come from woods, and then only do damage once in middle of town, and then head back to woods?
Well, let's go see what actually happened and then speculate.
Captain can
Yeah.
probably answer a lot of our questions.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
I suppose we'll set the horses outside and Luke, be a good boy and hold on to these fellows, make sure they're fine while we talk to the captain. And just set all of the reins in his hands.
Okay. So once again, Ook takes the reins of all the horses, kind of holding it like a large, like a kid with a large collection of balloons, just kind of bundling them all together. And he just sits there. He plants himself into the ground and just holds all the reins. The horses kind of are like, they act kind of odd whenever he does this because, you know, like, I don't know, they're all kind of converging. And sometimes Ook grabs a little too tight, which forces the horses kind of in on each other. But until you adjust it a little bit, to give them enough space so they're comfortable. You guys decide to walk up it's about 10 or 15 stairs that kind of start out wide and narrow into these large wooden doors. You can see windows that are made of plain glass just way up, probably about 10 or 15 feet above you towards the top of this building. It stands pretty tall. So who's going to enter first?
I'll go in.
Calder.
I'll
You
follow
grab-
after.
You grab this crude iron handle. It's probably about a foot or two long. And you pull it. The door kind of scraping against the wood porch. Inside, you see a hearth right in the center, lit very sort of dimly at this point of the day, but you can tell that probably during the night, when people gather here, it is probably lit a lot brighter. You can see many, probably about 12 to 15 long benches that kind of all connect in one singular lane on both sides, like a large cafeteria. A very large metal cauldron sits in the center, just below the flame. And at the far end, you can see sort of this small raised platform, probably about 2 feet off the ground, with another long table at the center, at the head of all at the head of these other tables that you see. There, you can see a gentleman. Far off, he's kind of rotund. Odd wrinkly skin, sort of tanned, bald head. You can see one interesting thing about him. He has what looks like a hook for a hand. So his hand kind of comes out into a trident. So it has 4 different curves to it and hooks at the end. Standing in front of him, you can see another figure standing just as tall as Eggval, blue in skin. She has a tuft of this large, I would say, dreadlock-like bun that sits at the top of her head, holding in kind of her left arm leaning on a large battle axe that kind of sits on her shoulder. They seem to be having a heated discussion before the door is opened. Oi! Who let you in? The rotund gentleman kind of says to all of you.
The folks at the checkpoint let us pass. We're mercenaries here to help. Is one of you the captain?
Tyrion, that damn fool. The lady says, I am the captain.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, ma'am. My name is Calder.
Come closer. It is pretty far. You are probably about 20 or so feet from the door to the end of the longhouse. It is a very long type of building.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
We're here to help.
Yeah, exactly.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, ma'am. I'll head up.
Yeah, so as you get closer, you can see that this woman who stands, like I said, closer to 7 feet tall, she is massive, and she is jacked. She wears this steel plate armor that kind of sits at the front of her, and a green tabard with the symbol of the Emerald Enclave kind of falls over it. She has on her a very beautiful, like, white mixed with teal satchel that kind of sits on her left, and then on her right is a black one that is housed with what looks like inset rubies that kind of give a glimmer to it on her right. So she has these two beautiful satchels. These, and the armor itself glows silver, but you can tell it has seen weather as well. Time in battle or in just in general weather. She looks like a formidable foe, even for you, Calder, if you were to get in a tussle with her.
Yeah, Calder respects the hell out of that.
Leaning on her great axe, she kind of looks at all of you. And I'm assuming he let you in because you all have blades.
Yes, ma'am. In a manner of speaking, at least. Some of us have actual blades. Some of us have other talents.
Well, and as you get closer, you can tell that the beautiful blue skin is kind of gives off this dampness. Those of you from around the area would know that this is a water genasi.
Mm-hmm.
And she has these beautiful purple eyes that have no white to them. It's just this kind of contrast to her dark blue and gray skin that kind of glare at you.
Badass.
We've run out of help, and we don't need yours. Maybe we do. I said shut it. We really don't need your help.
Ma'am, forgive me for saying, we heard you were short-handed. There's been a lot of trouble in the area as of late. We just want to help out.
The chair pulls out from the larger gentleman, who's human, and he kind of wobbles up to all of you. Elliot Fignor kind of walks up to you, Calder, and raises a hand.
Sir?
You take the hook?
Sure. If that's what he's offering.
Yeah, that's what he offers.
I'll shake the hook.
He kind of gives this like squeaky. Nice to meet all of you. You can tell that the Genasi is kind of getting obviously annoyed by his presence. Come, we can use all the help we could get. Close. So, he kind of waves a hand to the Genasi and says, "Continue." He seems to be like, sort of has this cockiness that you all have kind of arrived.
Town mayor vibe?
He's not really dressed in any fancier clothes than any of the other villagers that you would see in a normal town. But
self-stated town mayor.
Yeah, you're not really sure.
That's the vibe, at least. I'm getting.
We've come here because we're looking for my brother. Well, I thought you all were here because we were missing the livestock. I put an inquiry with your organization not too long ago. It's not really why we're here, and that's why he was here. She kind of looks to all of you.
Perhaps we can solve both problems. Perhaps we can solve both problems at the same time. Your brother, ma'am, what's his name?
Torrent Beck.
Is he a member of the Enclave as well?
We all are. He was sent here along with a few of his closest companions to investigate whatever the hell is going on in this shit town.
anything to do
It's
with
not
that
that shit.
destruction out there?
Well, that's what I was trying to find out. Except for this grimy little man will not tell me what exactly happened.
Turn to the guy. And you are
Elliot Fignor, appointed town leader.
appointed by who?
All of us, it's democracy. It's like gives you this wide grin.
Insight check. Fuck
Go ahead.
that.
Yeah, I'm inside that too. I don't believe him.
16.
16.
I just don't believe him. I don't care what I roll in inside.
That's 17.
He seems hard to believe.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But
Well, listen.
if you can help me more than this enclave or whatever they decide to call themselves, livestock disappearing, very important, good for the
Right. Well,
village.
I'm sure the Enclave and us can do a lot to help out here, but you're gonna need to tell us what happened.
No. You don't understand. I have a deadline.
A deadline for what?
Hardcastle expects 3 herds of sheep by the end of the week. And do you understand they've gone missing? I don't care about your damn sheep. I'm looking for my brother. And she takes the axe and kind of stamps it on the ground.
Now,
You see what I'm dealing with?
It certainly
I don't-
sounds like finding these sheep is integral to finding your
They call
brother
themselves
if
the
he was
police.
looking for them.
I put
Right.
a hand on Isaiah's shoulder. I think you should just listen to the nice lady. She's making a pretty simple, honest request. Tell us what happened. We'll
I
solve
don't
the
know
problem.
what happened to her brother. He showed up, said he was going to take a look around, and disappeared in the middle of the night.
Not what
Tell
happened
us
to
what
my brother,
happened in
what happened
town.
in town. There you go.
Start there.
I don't know.
The only thing that I know is that we heard a causing a commotion. Her brother kind of like fades away from her a little bit. Went to investigate it. Didn't come back.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. Out those doors.
Which direction?
The doors. To investigate the noise. We were all here.
Okay, so just
We heard crashing. We heard booming. We heard a roar. And he went out to investigate. Now he's gone. My brother's not my responsibility. My responsibility are the people of Torsh. The livestock. The sheep. The cows. You understand?
All right, you're done now. Captain, what was your name? Turning to
Name's
the
Tempest.
Tempest. Nice to make your acquaintance. My name is Calder. Did you happen to take a look at the blood outside?
I noticed it. I also noticed the destruction that you all noticed as well.
Seemed to go off into the woods. Maybe your brother went that way, either in chase or potentially not by his own will.
You're probably right. But I'm doing exactly what you're doing, looking for answers from this squeamish little worm.
No
I
one
don't think
else
this
in
squeamish
town.
little worm has much to tell us. But
So
if you would like to accompany
I
us,
may.
you may not. If you'd like to accompany us, we're going to head that way. We would love to help you find your brother.
I usually don't ask for aid, but
You didn't ask.
okay then. When do we go?
As soon as you're ready.
He kind of interjects and just sits back down.
What?
If worried about sheep, if brothers with sheep, we will try to bring back sheep. Don't worry about whatever deadline is. We'll let you know what happens. Probably one and the same with problem.
Do you understand? He kind of turns to Tempest. If whatever has been causing these disappearances for the past week, not just last night, ha! He looks at all of you. It could be trouble for you as well. It's your boss, the one that issued the order. I know it
We're
was.
off to... Sorry.
He wasn't talking to you, he was talking to Tempest. I know it was. And I know that's why he came. It's his business, not mine. I'm only here for my brother.
Well, for our part, rest assured, we're here to deal with that trouble, whatever it is.
There could be a
No.
rewarding with it if all of you decide to help.
I was
That's
gonna
wonderful.
say, it sounds like an expensive problem on your end,
No.
and if we're gonna solve some of that cash flow issue, we might want a little bit of that on our end as well.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So long as we have an understanding that humanoid life comes first, sheep comes second, we will do what we can to solve
Sheep
the
are
problem.
key to humanoid life here in Torsh, my friend.
Sheep can be replaced. People can't.
Seems like they're being removed quicker than they're being replaced.
Well, once we solve the problem, that won't be the case.
The problem's been going on for a lot longer than just last night. That's what I've been
I
trying to
understand.
say.
You said like
Where-
a week?
About that, yes.
And was it always, are the sheep centralized or are they from different farms?
From different farms, usually outside of the town. This is the first time
And-
that anything has happened inside.
And were there any particular direction or location to these farms?
Kind of points back. The direction that you came is, around the plains. They've been disappearing for some time. Some people have been saying they've been theft. That's why we called the Enclave. They were supposedly disappearing into the forest and not coming, and they are the ones to be policing it. She kind of rolls her eyes.
Was there any drop in these disappearances after the Enclave showed up and before they got disappeared?
No. In fact, we believe that it was, and I have evidence that Farmer Marius's sheep were the ones that were dragged away in the middle of town. Whatever took them into the forest.
So everyone in town heard this roaring and shouting, crashing, buildings crumbled, and no one saw a thing? Seems a little...
People have been afraid.
What about this Marius? It was his sheep. Wasn't he here watching them?
He was. He was
Is
in
he
here.
gone as well? Oh, he was inside this
You
building.
could find him in town, of course. Yes, sorry. This is Torsh. We like to convene here after a long day's labor. We provide food and housing for anybody that may need it, passing through to Hardcastle. He had his sheep penned outside. We are the main providers of wool to the Hardcastle family. Anything like linen or clothing, anything you can think of be made of wool, comes strictly from here. And he was set to leave in the morning to head to Hardcastle whenever this happened.
And
But the disappearances, like I've said, have been rather more quiet recently. It wasn't as violent as an explosion or a crash or a roar like happened last night. We're not too sure what exactly has been going on.
Let's see.
I'm sorry, I have a quick question. So you said that there were trails on the ground with kind of like 3 to 4 foot divots, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
like something about 3 or 4 foot wide was dragged towards the.
And it was just one thing, or it was multiple things?
No, it's hard to tell.
Hmm.
You'd have to take a better look.
Okay.
That's just more of Eggval. He's still interested in the conversation, but he will leave and he'll go outside and he'll take a better look at those trails.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay.
The rest of you?
Is
I'm
there any
also
other-
kind of over the conversation, so I'll go join Eggwell outside for a little bit.
Is there any other valuable-
I'm
Go
sorry.
on.
I rolled a natural 20.
Okay. Continue. Go ahead, Calder.
Is there any other information you can offer us? Any other oddities, strange occurrences tied to this? Anything
I can
like-
add something. I know my brother was talking that he was investigating not only sheep, but people missing on the road between here and Torsh. The only reason he was sent here because it kind of linked, we believed.
Between
people
here and
livestock.
Torsh? Here in
Hardcastle.
I
Apologies.
see.
Yes.
Sorry.
The roads have become more dangerous. Things that we have never heard of before as the Enclave are beginning to pop up. Oddities. Mismatch of different creatures. kind of looks back to all of you. There was one thing. We're usually rather welcoming here in Torsh, and people that are traveling through from the likes of Elbador and Hardcastle, we consider ourselves pretty proud that we're a central point here. An odd couple of individuals made their way here not too long ago, actually on that same night.
You have names?
No names, just shady figures kept to themselves. Some of the town people believe that they may have been the cause or brought whatever that was along with them.
Were they in the building when it occurred, or
They were
outside?
There were actually a lot of us, probably about 40 to 50 people inside the longhouse at the same time, and it began. Let's just say chaos erupted. A lot of people began getting very frightened. They disappeared in the madness.
Yeah, these two shady figures, you get a fair look at them. Got a description?
One. The only one that was kind of uncloaked.
Mhm.
Seemed to have a distant look in his eyes, like he'd seen thousands die.
Mm.
Instead, always scars all over his head, body.
Mm.
Odd-looking figure. Pale in complexion, almost like he was a walking corpse himself.
Mm.
Like he was a ghost.
They were
Mhm.
accompanying an odd individual when they entered town, a man in crimson robes. He never entered the longhouse, other than initially telling his compatriots to wait here. He had some other business. I didn't really pry. I was just trying to make my new visitors feel comfortable.
I see.
But this was days ago.
And as the attack happened, they disappeared.
Indeed.
Now, the you said there were about 40 or 50 people inside the building when the attack occurred. Was there anyone who wasn't here, like any of the farmers who potentially could have been at home and could have seen something?
Of course. We don't house everybody here. Not everybody shows up every night.
Okay.
Well, why don't you do us a favor then? While we follow the trail, see if we can't track this thing back to wherever it's making its home. Ask around, check with the townsfolk, see if you can find anything else out for us.
I can do that.
That would be
Really,
mighty helpful.
if you are able to help, I could provide a reward. Sorry, just an annoying business. I'm always being pressured from the Hardcastle family. They're just relentless.
Well, we will do our damnedest.
Are we ready yet?
Asking you about the sheep? The Hardcastle family?
It's relentless. Not only the wool, but livestock, cattle. We provide a lot of sustenance to Hardcastle. The main point of contact for things of the sort. 1 second. On a natural 20, you do notice that it wasn't just one, and it looks like whatever had been grabbed here, you kind of put together that it was probably Marius's sheep, just by the size of the drag marks. But there was not only one; there was two separate sets of drag marks towards the woods.
But he
You
had
can see there is like blood, like a small blood trail that leads right to the outskirts of the woods. So,
But wait, and he said a dozen.
Yep.
Was that? I'm assuming this isn't over the period of time of a week. Huh. Wait, hold on. And then I'm sorry. Redrick said he had
I'm
also.
outside. Yeah. Got anything, Egg?
There's two. I see two drag marks. Too big for human. Looks like livestock. Maybe sheep. But he had said that he had lost a dozen. Must have been something that had occurred throughout week, but odd only a couple every day.
You're right, sleuth there, Egg. I mean, if there's a trail,
What do
it's
you
easy enough to
think?
follow, right? That's what I think. If there's a trail, it's easy enough to follow.
That's
I don't
true,
really care how many was taken, to be honest.
but at least easier to see here in town. When we get further in the forest, might be more difficult, but whatever it was, if it did damage to these buildings or houses, has to be big. Especially if it takes 2 sheep with no problem.
Yeah, it's not easy. I was kind of thinking that myself. Maybe some big forest creature. I mean, we've seen some crazy shit out there already.
I don't think forest creature. If forest creature, it'd stay in forest. And from damage, looks like it made its way to forest.
Unless something forced it
Maybe
out of the forest, looking for food
or
elsewhere.
something like imps, but much bigger. Might help if we have captain with.
Right.
I don't know. I don't feel okay about this. Doesn't seem right.
Falcon,
I mean,
I have a question. How long does your disguise last? Because you are disguised as a human at the moment.
I think it's an hour.
If
So
I
you
remember
dropped it?
correctly, Vulcan dropped it after we
Yeah.
figured out that
Yeah.
Calder wasn't a
Oh, okay.
huge deal.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did. I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
Well, Captain Tempest, you ready to go?
I suppose we should be on the move.
Any chance that you could get me some arrows? I'm almost out.
Fine.
Thanks.
Wait here a moment.
You should have Isaiah make you some.
Velkin,
These arrows are
at this
free.
point, Tempest walks up to you, kind of pushing past the rest of your party. And she stands to the point where you have to look up at her, and she just looks down at you.
Yeah, if Velkin looks up at her, unflinching, just, can I help you?
Just stares down at you. You're different than the others I've seen.
In more ways than one.
Do you all vouch for this one?
Yes, we do.
We do.
After I find my brother, we'll see if you don't find your way into shackles.
I mean, that'd be mean for somebody who
That's-
helped you.
Seems a bit
Her
harsh.
people deserve
and
it.
No. Not all are bad among a largely bad group.
I
That's just
will
basic,
disagree.
period.
We're all entitled to our own opinion.
I think we're getting off topic.
Looking
we have
out
something
eyes
that
narrow a bit.
Let's focus on the task at hand.
You hear kind of like a door shut. You see Elliot return with like just a bundle of arrows. This is all I could find, and he just kind of scatters them on the table in front of him.
That'll do nicely.
Thank you.
Just
It's about
one last
15 arrows.
question before we leave.
15? Okay.
Everything that's disappeared, like, I don't know if you've been outside this building, but there's a lot of blood there. Is there anything left usually in the previous disappearances? Any blood, any bits?
Nothing. That's what's so odd about this attack. It was so much more violent than anything else we've experienced.
Whatever it is, maybe it's gotten more frantic, more desperate, or more confident. Hard to say. Either way, we best get on his trail. We'll take our leave.
let's go.
I'll be back for more of you. Just looks back at
Gives her a little wave.
She kind of walks out abruptly to all of you, out in front of you, opens the door and kind of closes it behind her. The two that are outside, you see Torrent walk out.
So I guess
I mean,
as
I'm gonna follow
so I
her
guess
out.
yeah. So I guess as she walks out, and then the rest of the party kind of files out behind her. I'm probably just sort of like on one knee, just sort of inspecting the two sort of indentations with blood trails behind. I'll just kind of stand up and turn to the party. Trails too big to be human, probably livestock. Looks like sheep is said, but only two, which means it's done this for multiple days without the week. Explain the dozen, but with what kind of damage it did, has to be big. At least
Big
one
or
thing.
You see
Probably
Torrent
related.
as you're saying this kind of walk past you. She gets down on one knee and takes her hand and kind of rubs it into the dirt, tastes some of the blood. I don't know what this is, but he's right. I've never seen anything like this other than smaller brown drakes towards the farther east. But I don't see any signs of a dragon. She kind of looks up towards the forest and the destruction around her.
I don't think so either. But maybe more likely related to ink attacks in Albador.
Are you kidding?
But
there,
larger.
there
It
have
has
been
to be larger.
fiendish
I don't like
outbreaks.
this. Too large. I don't like this. We should be careful.
So why is it going around destroying buildings? Maybe just collateral damage, I guess. But
Most likely.
Well,
Let's
I
get
mean,
a little
if-
farther
if-
from. Let's get a little farther from the village, and I will explain things I did not want to say in front of that man.
Agreed.
Lead the way.
1 minute, real quick. Can I go up to the nearest building that's been damaged and see if there's traces around the damage points?
Sure. Give me a investigation check.
I
I
could
think the
spend too
damage
long
could've-
doing it because I know everybody's eager to get going, but
I say the damage could have been from her brother attacking it. No, got some licks in, and that's where the blood came from.
Possible.
everybody's eager to go. It's I don't need to see. Okay, 7.
It's hard to tell. Whenever you get closer, you do see, even with the 7, a large gash mark on the one side. It's probably about 4 or 5 inches in width. It just runs along the side of the building before it ends at the other, towards the center of the street.
Very claw mark like.
It would be one singular claw if that was the case.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
raked.
Tail, maybe?
Hard to tell.
Looking at you said they're footprints, right?
I did not.
Oh, are there footprints?
Give me an investigation check.
All right.
I'm also kind of interested after seeing that claw mark whether it looks like it was a fight after that theory had been proposed.
Okay.
That's
Also
not-
I don't know if
investigation.
I could. Okay.
That's an
Sorry, I didn't know
11
you were
plus 7 for an 8.
You can't see any definitive marks of footprints or anything like that. It seems like in this general area where the blood and everything is, it's just a mess of destruction, dirt. There's no definitive until you get closer to the woodline. You see what looks like a plant of 4 kind of what would be a mixture of a large, what I want to say, mastiff, maybe mixed with a dragon, but the paw itself is a good 1 foot in width, because you can see that it has large claws at the tip of the 3, and then it has one of the, I don't even know what you call that, the back claw, almost like a chicken in a way.
Yeah.
You claw.
Mhm.
Yeah, right. That's what it's called.
Um,
But
gotta-
but the center of it it almost resembles a bear or a dog paw,
Mhm.
right? if that makes sense.
I got a net 18 for a 19 on mine.
It doesn't look like there's any signs of battle, meaning the buildings aren't scarred with any like nicks or slashes from like a weapon missing. You don't see any remnants of any arrows being shot at anything. It seems like whatever had come through here had tore through the town, and that's what caused the majority of the destruction. Alongside that footprint, you do see a little bit more fresh, a set of tracks. One set of what looks like humanoid footprints heading in that direction.
Okay. Can Vulcan pull from any knowledge of her experience with weird creatures? The other day, adventuring, and she's been all over, really. Looking at the tracks, looking at the slash mark on the building, the behavior. Is there anything that rings a bell to what even kind of creature this might be?
Give me a nature check.
Okay, that was a good roll. It was a 15. Oh, I accidentally just opened Steam.
What are we playing?
What do we happen on? Yeah.
Nature?
Mm-hmm.
15 plus 5 for
Okay, 20. You have, and you've studied a lot about many different creatures. You've never seen anything like this before. You definitely can tell that the center print is definitely that of what resembles a large bear, but it is almost bigger in size, like even bigger than a regular brown bear that you would find in the forest. It is pretty. Where the claws come from, you have no idea.
Okay. She'd mentioned that to the party. That seems bear-like, but it's not a bear.
Well, let's get on the trail, and Tempest, you can tell us a bit more as we walk.
Yeah.
Very well. Let's go.
Oh, casting mage armor before we leave.
Okay. And she begins to lead all of you into the forest. The familiar Chondawood, except here in this part of the region, this southern part of the Chondawood, it is very, very dense with a lot of thicket, very thin, entangling trees. So Tempest seems to be rather skilled in getting through this. Remembering or kind of reminding you of Adleth, how she was able to just guide her way through the forest with ease. If you guys would try to do this, you would be completely lost. But as you walk, probably about a good 20 minutes or so, look there. She kind of points to all of you as she stops. You can see one of the trees just has complete destruction. It seems like fresh branches have been kind of removed from the tree. And as your eyes follow her finger, you can see what looks like just this path that was carved through the forest. Like if you were looking in a tunnel, that's what it looks like. So whatever caused this, she kind of says to all of you, it looks like it stands roughly 10, 12 feet tall.
Sizable.
8 feet wide. Because it has caused this definitive kind of oval arch just in a direction.
Easy to follow, at least.
Yeah, there is that.
Whatever this
This
was,
seems horrible.
I'm beginning to believe that it was recent. There's no way that the villagers of Torsh knew that this thing was out here this entire time without reporting it before. Kind of looking around.
How, though, could it have avoided most of the town and then doesn't seem like it's got wings to block it, right?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
What I did want to tell you, and she begins to walk down through just the center of this tunnel. This woman seems very, very confident. And she's not trying to be stealthy at all.
I'll keep pace with her.
What I was trying to tell you before, those people that he mentioned, we've been on their trail for some time. There have been reports similar to this. She kind of looks up. Of things attacking small villages, towns, people on the road. And the only thing that seems to keep popping up in our investigation is this group of people.
Or disappear after the fact like ghosts.
The man in the crimson robe specifically.
Mm.
We're not too sure.
Yeah,
But they're
something
heading
similar.
towards Hardcastle.
Something similar happened in Elbler when we were there. We think perhaps these are the same men.
Yeah. Does anyone remember whether Mystel or his underling there, blank on name, mentioned a red cloak from the
Purple. Those purple
That's
robes.
what it was.
Yeah.
A little different.
Well, if it was a lot of blue flame at the time, the blue and the red might have shifted towards purple.
Fair.
Can Vulcan recall any red cloak, like red robes, being any symbol within the group? Hearing about it?
Those that you encountered, no. They wore the same similar robes that the rest of you encountered in Elbador. Those, like, dirty, whitish gray robes. Nothing resembling any crimson or purple or anything like that.
Okay.
I guess I forgot to mention to all of you, the only difference that you saw in any of their robes was that Abad had blue trimming within the hood. So that was the only difference that you would have ever noticed. And you, Vulcan, as well. At this point, she leads into you, Calder, as you all are walking, and the conversation continues. The final reports we had, they had made their way through Torsh, heading in the direction of the Great Rift. Do you know where your trusted companion comes from?
The one that you questioned earlier.
Aye.
Not really sure where she hails from, but she is actually guiding us in that same direction as well. Our goal is to stop what they're trying to do.
I urge you great caution. I was not really... It's not about her skin color, but her people have been plaguing this land from the Great Rift for years.
Yeah, I understand.
She's leading exactly where she wants you to. Or she wants to.
Perhaps. Warning taken.
The drow are not to be messed with.
I kind of motioned to myself, just everything. The skin color.
It's not about
people
the color
were,
of her skin.
I understand. It's about her kind. My point is that my skin color led a lot of people to think I was her kind for a long time. I understand the pain that they've caused.
I'm just giving you a warning. She is taking you exactly where she wants to. They are not kind. They are merciless. And they will kill you. She kind of just puts her face forward and continues to walk.
Yeah, they can try. I'll walk next to her.
Meanwhile, Vulcan's at the back of the party. I hate walking in heels in this type of dirt.
Yeah, like every once in a while, your like ankle will just slightly twist.
Yep, she just looks rather annoyed at the soft word.
Gotta get this girl some boots.
Well, I mean, if you want, you could be carried. I've got Ook. He's pretty strong.
Isn't he with the horses? Is he with the horses?
No, we would have tied him. I am not going into the woods again without Ook.
Yeah, not a good idea with a cart.
Appreciated, but I'll be okay.
Did Kate, did Velkin tell us about everything she saw?
In
Or just
regards
the
to
print? Like when you were looking at the tracks earlier?
She would have pointed out that there was the big print with, or like the bear with the claws, which is what's throwing her off. But also there was footprints with it.
Okay. I'll kind of do we still see that as we're traveling along this trail? Those like humanoid tracks?
Give me a perception check.
Natty 20.
Oh,
Hey. So it's at a 19.
You do. And it seems like Tempest recognizes them as well, as she's just following the direct path. You can tell that behind the whatever these footprints you're looking at were following the same larger tracks that you are now following as well.
Okay, that was going to be my guess. These look to be maybe the right size. They could be Torrent.
100% him.
You think he's trailing this beast as well?
100%.
Now, hopefully we catch him and we can join the fight.
Hey, do we think those weird things we ran into in the woods a couple days ago are worth mentioning?
Yeah.
She kind of turns her head over her shoulder.
Odd hyena-looking things. I don't know. Not my specialty.
Yeah. Well, at the mention of the strange creatures, there is credence to that. There have been reports of that all around the region, and we have borne witness to some.
You said they're hyena-like.
Partially.
Hyena, deer, something
Badger.
else.
Very, very large.
They were really weird.
Oh,
It smelled
Black
awful.
Terrible.
But
Fucked
they
up
were able to
amalgamation.
mimic human speech. Well, humanoid speech.
And they stank to high hell like rock.
But
They were.
Go ahead.
Was going to say they reminded me of a tale from my tribe, but didn't really match the description. That's a story for another time. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say much of the issues, as far as we understand it, that have been happening around here are, well, around here I say the Chundlewood is huge, but around the wood has been things which aren't native.
Weird.
Appearing and
We
rearing
recognize
up.
the same.
I mean, even before any of this Black Gate shit that we've been learning about, Chinawood was getting wilder every day. I think it's just part of that. Maybe the two are connected. I don't know.
Nothing like
Yeah.
this. Things began to stir in the Charnwood, yes. The ants themselves began to move. Trees began to speak to one another. Things were happening.
Maybe they could feel what was coming.
Wait, what? I guess I kind of say this to myself. What do ants have to do with trees? That seems weird.
But nothing like this. We've had similar encounters with beasts, partially of one kind and of another, but mostly it's been things I've never seen or heard of. Unbeast-like, things bursting into flames when slain, things with wings and horrid eyes.
Fiends.
Before or after the past, 2-3 weeks?
Around the same time.
Fiends. It's what we ran into in Elbalder, like imps. Just, there are many types.
These were massive. Well, about the same size as kind of motions to Ren. Winged, horrid looking things, pestilence literally breathing out of their bodies. The head of a goat, flies and rot coming out of the same thing is disturbing.
Well, we could be dealing with another such creature, only in motion to the pathway, much larger.
Maybe, do we want anybody to scout ahead who's a little bit quieter than those of us wearing metal?
We might want to stay
I can-
together or something that's dangerous.
I mean, I could try.
I could go
I've
ahead.
had some practice.
I'm kind of quiet.
Maybe
Pretty
we should
quiet, and
send,
I can stay in touch.
It's true. Do you want to risk it though? We could send grandfather, or Velkin could send her a flying cat.
Yarns.
I
Yorns?
think we could probably see a lot from the air, considering how big this thing is.
Yeah. Grandfather can't exactly report back, so. But, speaking of which, Ren, do you have to see people to do that voodoo you do so well?
The hoodoo, the voodoo.
Ren's gonna kind of like cut her eyes at the captain lady, and then she's just gonna kind of like, yeah, I do.
Okay.
At least initially.
So it wouldn't work on anybody like the brother who can't just with a name or something like that. No.
No.
That's unfortunate. Well, all right. So stick together, scouting party, or at least can you walk while you do the thing with your cat?
Vulcan holds out a hand.
I mean,
Not
I could
offended.
hold. I
Yeah,
mean, I
like you
could.
just said, as long as you're willing to guide me, then I can walk.
By the way, point of order: did you leave Ook in the village, or did you bring him with you?
No. We would have tied the horses wherever they normally go at the building, and then bring Ook. So.
Just wanted to make sure.
Oh, so I guess if Falcon was going to then transition into her flying cat sight.
Transition into horror.
Shut up. I'm tired. Shut up. What is it? I would have asked Falcon. I know you're wearing weird shoes. Don't want to know why you'd wear them in forest, but if you want to wear shoes, you can. Maybe a little big, but used to walking barefoot.
Very proud of you. I'll manage.
Okay, but if you can't see, might be more difficult. Option is there if you want.
Thank you.
Just let me know.
That is very sweet of you, Egg. And she's gonna loop her arm in Isaiah's and send Eorance forward. And once Eorance is about 30, 40 feet ahead, she blinks. The cat eyes appear, and she's essentially blind and completely relying on Isaiah to lead her.
That's
So-
always weird. I was just, yeah.
Eorance you're sending him about 40 feet
Mhm.
ahead of you. Okay, give me a perception check using Eurance's vision.
I just gotta check Eurance's sheet because I know he has proficiency in that. And I'm working off one screen right now on a laptop, so I'm gotta pull everything up individually. +5, okay. 10 plus 5, 15.
So
I will also say, Eorance does have detect invisibility.
Okay.
So if anything is invisible within 60 feet, it can see it.
he notices two things. First, about 50 or so feet ahead of you, the canopy opens up a little bit into more sporadic like trees. You can see that there's this large like hill that kind of is made up of rock and grass and moss have kind of grown up into it, and the wood kind of opens up around it and surrounds it, and it continues on. You can see that the tunnel itself that you guys are following, pretty evidently, because the branches have been removed so much that it kind of casts this just like a shallow layer of trees that he can look down. You can see that just this path leads directly to a large mouth of a cave. You can see that there's two large entrances that lead into darkness. You also see a pool of water that a small kind of stream flows into next to it. You don't see the tunnel continue past this large hill, essentially. He does spot something else, though, a little bit more curious. You see a cat not too far away, up in the top of one of the trees, who's... and he disappears.
Okay.
A familiar cat.
Okay. Isaiah would hear Vulcan whispering in a language that's not common. I don't know if you know Undercommon. She's whispering to herself, and so you said there's like a left and a right cave.
It seems like there's two entrances to either two separate caves or two entrances to one cave. You're not too sure. You can just see two mouths that stand about 12 feet in width, and about 15 or so feet in height. So they're pretty big, even from Urance's perspective. And there's probably a good 10-foot gap between both of them. They kind of seem to disappear into darkness. You can't really see into the entrance. Nothing invisible or anything like that.
Okay. Velkin will command Yorns to sit and come back into her own vision, blinking a few times to get her eyes to readjust. She says, ahead there is a, 2 cave entrances. Don't know if it is to the same cave. Might be, but, do you want me to send Yorns down part of it?
Was it
Oh.
clear by the damage in the trees and such which one they went into?
Was it?
So the forest itself kind of ends, kind of starts to begin to like loosen up a bit as it gets into this towards this rocky structure. It is more open. There are trees sporadic, so it was kind of hard to tell. It seems like the tunnel ends at a tree line and it kind of opens up. And then as Jorans could see, the hill itself, the trees began to hug the back of the hill. So there's just like opening where the pool is and the cave itself.
Did the tracks go into one side?
It was too hard to tell. You did not get that much detail. You definitely have to get closer.
Okay. Hard to tell from here. I can only see so much through Yorns. Maybe if we get a little closer, we might be able to tell which side it's open.
Yep. We'll have to get up and have a look.
You said it's 50 feet away.
Give or take, yes.
We should slow down our pace.
Fair enough. I'll
Well, if it
we'll
seems,
stay
if
back
it
here.
seems- if it seems clear, we can maybe a couple of us can sneak forward and try to get a better look of the area.
Yeah.
You two feel
Yeah,
confident?
I'm pretty quiet. I'm pretty sneaky.
I'm pretty quiet.
Yeah. Why don't you and I go look and we'll see what we can see, and you guys wait here and we'll report back.
And I'll point. I'll look at Ren, kind of tap my head and point to. Let's do Isaiah.
Yeah, you're gonna hear her voice in your head, and she'll be like, "Sure, Isaiah," and then Isaiah, you'll hear Ren's voice in your head for the first time, be like, "You're my point of contact."
Yeah, that is
Makes you like twitch.
okay. This is how we do this. All right, got it. And
Yeah,
he's
it's
pretty
pretty
much
weird,
talking
right?
about with his mouth closed.
She's like, "You can just like think at me. You don't have to. You don't have to talk."
Do you ever wear those headphones that you could hear yourself talk and you try to like?
Oh
listen to
god, it's
yourself?
I hate
so
that.
bad.
That's
I
like
hate
the
that
same
so
feeling
bad.
that you kind of
Oh.
get.
It's so annoying.
That's the same feeling you kind of get.
Well, just let me know if there's anything we need to worry about, or if it's clear, and we'll come up.
All right. Ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Just
I
ready.
remove my pistol just to be safe, and then I head on forward.
Stealth checks from both of you.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. That is a 22.
That is a 23.
23.
Nice.
Very nice.
Excuse me.
How far
as
are
you-
the rest of us from the cave mouth?
About 50 feet or so.
Okay.
You can see the opening ahead of you. Not too far away. You can see where the tree line breaks, kind of, where this tunnel has led you. The rest of the two of you kind of sink into the dirt. What's interesting is that as you're moving, even though you are wearing your boots, Castus, Ren, the rest of you kind of see the shadows kind of wrap themselves in closer to both of them. At the same time, Calder, you're the only one really close enough to notice that as they passed, Tempest did a motion and said something under her breath as they passed. But you can see the shadows kind of cling closer and closer to both of them as they are continuing.
Nice. I'll give her a nod.
I guess what is it? As they start to kind of like go off, right before they enter range, I guess toward Castus, I'm gonna also do sort of a quick hand motion, and you gain a bardic inspiration. So you feel a bit of a warmth in your pocket. Not really sure, probably where that came from, but at least have it there for whatever reason. You know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So both of you, kind of slowing your stride, exit the tree line here, and you can see the entrances to the two caves, probably about 20 or so feet away from you.
Okay, well, let's take a look around, see if we can figure out which one it went into.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one it went into, and if there's any like sort of iconography or like bones
Yeah.
out here or anything crazy.
Perception check.
Come on, don't fuck me.
DM, do I feel like I could inch up to like 40 feet away without making
try.
myself noticeable?
You can try.
I'll hold on that just in case.
I
My
don't wanna do
perception
it
is
unless
12.
I feel fairly confident.
My perception was a nat 1 for 4.
Ooh,
Wow.
fun.
With a
12.
With a 12 and a 1, it's difficult to judge from this distance. You would definitely have to get closer to either one of the mouths to get a gauge of where this thing is leading you to.
Okay.
But you
Okay.
do see, even with the 12, remnants of a torn apart sheep not too far off in the pool of where the kind of stream has fallen. You can see just it's kind of body parts strewed about. Seems to be torn into.
How deep is that pool?
It's fairly shallow, probably
Fairly
not
shallow,
even up
okay.
to your ankles. But it seems like the stream kind of funnels into this pool.
Okay.
It is probably about 20 or so foot in width, but it's not deep at all.
Okay, I want to take a gander inside that pool. Maybe shallow, but I'm hesitant to step further into it in case something's hiding
Okay.
in there.
Investigation.
Oh, my investigation's so good. Oh, I'm just in case. I'm gonna pop that little oatmeal cream pie from my pocket. Nom, 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 nom.
oatmeal cream pie.
Mm.
Interesting choice. I like that. Very good. Very good.
That's a 14.
It's a very Castus treat, in my opinion.
Yeah, that sounds
With
right.
a 14, it just seems like an undisturbed shallow pool.
Oof, okay.
You can see
I
it
kinda look at it
kind of water's murky with the blood as it kind of swirls with it as you get closer.
Okay, I sheathe my not sheathe. I holster my pistol and pull up my short sword. Just poke into where I'm going to step, kind of forward, maybe a couple feet into it, to see if anything happens.
You stab in there. Nothing goes in. A few inches in the mud.
All right.
Well, Castus is very focused on this pool of water. It's gonna feel as he's extreme, like he's hyper focused on it. He just feels a little sharp pinch on the back of his ankle.
Jesus!
Cause you to splash into the water.
I turn around.
Everyone's like, why are you making so much noise?
And Yorins is scampering back the way that towards the others.
It's just gonna sigh and just be like, not the time. I'm gonna try to sneak a little closer towards the caves and try to see if I can discern.
Which one are you going to? The left or the right one?
Always go left.
Always
Left
go
is
left.
best.
Right.
Left is
I
best.
would have picked right.
I'll check right.
Do I hear the splashing?
Sploosh.
All of you can hear the splashing.
I'm gonna start inching forward.
So if they don't come back, do we carry on their legacy or forget them because we're the forgotten few? I don't.
We will.
I'm sure we will help them.
Here, well, before they get.
After
Answer.
splashing,
Should we go help?
Isaiah's just gonna hear in his head. Isaiah's gonna hear in his head after the splashing. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
All right, they're fine. They're apparently everything is okay up there. We should just give them a little trust.
Yeah, 50 feet makes me nervous. I'm gonna close the gap a bit.
I
Roll me
hope.
a stealth check if you're moving forward.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say to myself, I hope Cast used my help.
I'll also.
I hope
move
it was
up.
something good.
Okay, stealth check.
Yep.
13.
Oh, nat 19 for a 23.
Sheesh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
+4?
I should have gone with the
Damn.
other group.
Sorry, Belkin's gonna move forward too.
Okay.
With a 17 on the die, and I have a +6.
Well, if I see most of the party moving forward, I'm actually gonna move forward as well. Not gonna lie. So, hey, nope, that's a fucking D12.
Ren is just going to hear in her head, oh, they don't trust you. They're coming a little bit closer.
Ooh.
So,
And you said this is
How these
stealth,
things normally go.
That's a 22 for me, following behind the rest of the party moving forward.
Isaiah, are you going as well?
I can make 50 feet in a round. I'm fine.
That's what I like to hear. Hell yeah.
Dad being dad.
I'm not gonna screw it up for other people. We can do it in a round. We're fine.
The other two, roll me another set of perception checks
All right, let's do
as you
my
get closer
Jedi.
to the mouth of the cave.
Okay, right is right, and right. Oh! That's a nat 1.
I got
Right
a
is wrong.
16.
Okay, a 16. And how close are the rest of you getting?
How close is the tree line?
If you, the tree line itself was 50 feet, so ahead of it, it was hard to tell.
Like 30 feet?
Okay, so you're staying about 20 feet back from the tree line? Okay.
Belkin's just staying up beside Calder. So
I probably would get about. I feel confident. I probably would get about 20 feet. Is there anything I could probably like just stand behind? You said there's Is there anything I can like crouch or stand behind?
I mean,
Having it
there's
that close?
trees to your right and your left. You can definitely find one to hide behind easily.
Within 20 feet?
Within 20 feet of what?
I guess of the
others.
opening.
Yeah.
Because I feel kind of confident.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
you said the
okay.
trees ended at 50 feet.
They do. But I'm saying, like, if you were within 20 feet of the entrance of the trees, there's trees to your left and right. Like, you can find one 20 feet from the entrance. Is that not
Okay,
what you're
yeah.
asking?
Yes. So then I'll get 20 feet, and then I'll just kind of like sort of like stand behind a tree and just sort of peek out every once and again.
So
Just in
Egval
case.
kind of goes ahead of all of you, about another 10 feet or so.
I'll be with Eggball.
Cass, as you get closer, you can see, even with a natural one, you have to get pretty close. You don't see any tracks or anything like that. The mud here is just kind of too random for your eyes. You're kind of focused on the cave as it just goes on. You can see barely just back, so you can't see anything else. Ren, you notice that your cave, your entrance, doesn't go very far. It actually only goes about 15 feet or so inward. You don't see any signs of any movement or any creature or anything like that.
What do you see?
So what the cat had seen, it was just an outcropping of the hillside itself.
Okay. Yeah, Castus, you're gonna hear in your head. Doesn't look like much over here, just kind of like an overhang. What about your
Okay.
side?
Awful dark tunnel. Even with my eyesight, I can't see beyond. It just keeps going.
That sounds like the side we want then.
Yay!
Yeah. But does it seem clear? Like, could I call the others forward?
Seems clear to me.
All right. Ren will start walking over towards that way, and then Isaiah will hear in his head. The left cave is more of just like an outcropping. Castus says that the right cave goes deeper. We don't really see anything here, so you guys can start coming forward if you want.
All right, on our way. And me and Ook are just going to stand up and start walking forward normally and be like, well, not shout out or anything, but as I come up to the people, we're apparently heading towards the right cave as we get up there.
Got it. I'm gonna walk up to the cave mouth as we're like moving forward and divine sense.
Okay. Another stealth check for you. As all of you, everyone who's exiting the tree line needs to give me another stealth check.
Yeah, that's right.
Including
Stealthy,
myself,
stealthy.
who's already 20 feet in, or 20 feet outside the cave.
That disadvantage.
Okay.
What was it?
5.
14.
Disadvantage, man. That's great.
Where's
Yeah.
Tempest?
She's with you.
Okay.
I got a 6 + 6 for 12.
I got a 15 plus 3. That's 18 total.
Okay. Isaiah?
I got a 10, and Ook got a 3.
Pong, 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 pong.
Love it.
Or
Hey, I
slunk,
told you, that
slunk,
bugger right
slunk.
Clark, as you get closer to the cave of the mouth, you kind of stand next to Cassis and you close your eyes out and reach out with your senses. You sense something.
Mm-hmm.
Fiend. But it's not in the cave. It's above it.
Fuck.
And you look up and all of you see this dark creature kind of appear over the top of the cave. The head looking like a large black bear, the body itself probably 200 and 300 pounds. It's in weight. Its claws itself, that of a large, what looks like green dragon-like creature, as it kind of it roars out in this horrifying roar as to its side you see these massive black-like dragon wings extend, and out from over its shoulder you see curling another head similar of the black bear. The eyes of its tail glow in this bluish purple look. The gaze itself horrifying. You see these two massive bull horns growing out the side of this bear head, both of the bear heads, as
Hell
it boom, lands in the center of all of you. Gives this massive roar. We are going to roll initiative.
DM.
Whoa.
Being that I cast it, do I have time to get something in before initiative?
Depends on what it is.
I just want to trigger a certain feature,
What are you looking to trigger?
a certain racial feature.
Okay. Roll me a dexterity check. Just a
Oh, that'll
dexterity
go super well.
check. I'm gonna bring you all to a map here.
Good
16.
initiative.
Battle map.
16?
Yeah.
Yes, you can trigger it.
Oh, hell yes. Okay.
By the way,
Eagle.
the token for this thing is a black bear. Because I don't have a black bear with horns, a tail, dragon wings, and dragon feet.
What? Come
I
on.
love
works.
it. How dare you,
How-
sir?
I know.
So
How
underprepared.
My
dare you.
immersion
So
is ruined.
disappointed.
I specifically asked for immersion up front, and now I've been let down.
I am disappointed,
Okay.
and my day has.
Do you have time for combat, Evan?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Don't worry about my
Woo!
time.
All right.
All right. Let's
Time
go.
is just a construct.
Alright.
Don't ask.
That's
Just
what-
go
yeah,
with
that's
it, man.
exactly what you say.
Okay, initiative's not too bad either.
Yeah, can't complain.
All right, we
You know,
got
negative
25 to 20.
20.
28?
22.
Oh,
All right, you
20
guys
for
suck.
me.
You said 28, Velkin?
Jesus H.
I rolled a 15.
Redrick, what did you say yours was?
20.
Yep.
Just flat.
Mine was 22.
Just a 20.
just a
Velkin.
20. Jesus. With a 15. Okay.
We all got to get on that Vulcan shit.
Alrighty. 20 to 15.
15.
17.
Heck.
It's an initiative this round.
Just wait.
Oh Lord.
All right, 15 to
Bring
10.
up the rear, baby.
14.
Hey, cast is 14. And Isaiah. Womp womp womp.
2.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
2.
So I have you guys crudely positioned here. If you guys want to adjust where you may have been at the moment, but the bear head creature had jumped
Here.
from up here. I will give you the option to adjust yourselves.
See, if I was by a tree, yeah, I probably would have. I think that spot's good for me.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Way too
I'll
close
be
to my
there.
lightning.
Mechanically, this thing takes up a 15-foot square.
It does.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh,
Boy, it's a biggin.
It
it's
is
a beefy
massive.
boy.
All right, so the first one to go is Velkin. As you see this massive mixture of bear, dragon, bull-like qualities just boom land in front of all of you. You're the first one to react.
All right. Belkin's going to pull out her pocket watch, click it, and a clock, kind of spectral clock, appears in front of the bear and starts spinning, and its eyes follow it, and she's going to cast blindness deafness on it. So I need a con
Ooh.
save.
What was that? What kind of save?
Con.
Con save. Okay. That is going to be a 22. Let's see.
That saves.
As you see the watch kind of appear in front of its face, it just blinks and its eyes glow a little bit brighter.
Great. She's going to step into the trees a bit, and that's my turn.
Alrighty. I need to roll for Tempest. Apologies. Dum bum 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 bum. She has a +2. Okay. All right. Ren, you are up.
Okay. I'm gonna just look up, be like, oh shit, and take a shot at it with my short bow. And that will be a that's a nat 20.
Let's go.
And does it happen to be engaged with my friends?
Oh, yeah.
It does.
Fuck yeah, okay.
Both
Oh, yeah.
Castus and Calder.
So do I roll the dice twice or do I just
Nah,
double what I
dice.
roll?
Double the dice.
Cool. Alright. Come on, big money. Okay. Alright, so that's 24 plus 4, right?
28.
Yeah, 28 points of damage.
Sheesh.
Nice.
And gonna scoot on back over to wherever this is and try to hide for my bonus action.
Roll a stealth check.
That is a 14 for my stealth.
Okay.
And that is my turn.
Okay. It is now its turn.
Damn it.
boy.
Oh, early.
So kind of judging, kind of seeing its surroundings, looking at all of you menacingly, takes this arrow, and as a bear does whenever you see a bear ever get injured, it kind of shudders for a moment and just like snaps the arrow out and it falls to the ground. It's going to unleash this breath of this just black, dark cloud
Beautiful.
out in front of all of you. All right, so I need, let me see here, a 15-foot cone.
No, not only that.
Where's 15 foot at? Out here, right?
Well, I mean, this is technically
Help
part of
me
the
out
layer
here.
too, right? So you could come
Yeah,
from
yeah.
this.
It would.
Yeah,
it would
from
be
the mouth.
Yeah.
right there. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just horrible with these cans. You think like
Oh.
Roll20 would have something like that?
You can
I thought
import
they
little
did.
assets. You
Yeah,
want.
Yeah.
I think I might.
I can make you some.
I actually think I have them, but it's okay. I won't worry about it. So it is going to be what? Calder, Castus, Tempest. Redrick, I think you're just out of range.
Just barely 15 feet, 20 feet away.
Yeah. Okay. So I need you all to roll me dexterity saving throws.
Oh, I'm good at
Super
Dex,
great.
I'm good at Dex. Come on. Oh, that's a fucking 5.
Dirty 1.
31.
Not
It's a-
natural. Important.
It's a 2 minus 1.
Oh man, buddy.
That's a fucky one.
Yeah.
That's a fucky one.
I have a +3 in Dex, and I rolled a 2.
Oof.
Let me just make sure I know exactly what this is going to do.
Horrible, terrible.
Let me make sure I understand what I'm about to do. to you.
Apologies. I'm gonna have a reroll. So it's con save, not dexterity.
Okay.
Okay.
Haha, I still have
Ooh.
+3.
Should-
Haha.
Should I use the same roll or roll
Just
again?
roll again. Roll again.
Oh, I love you.
Oh,
18.
good. Oh, good.
Oh, much better.
Hadouken!
18.
18.
What a
What was yours?
DM.
What was your Castus?
18.
Okay.
What a DM.
I love rolling a lot of dice.
No.
All right.
Oh.
You will all take 25 points of necrotic damage.
Okay,
Is
I have
that-
a question. I have a question for you. Given my current circumstances with Zaphin and everything like that,
Mhm.
do I still get the resistance to necrotic
do.
damage?
You do.
Did we succeed or fail?
You've succeeded. So
So
it's
that-
going to
God!
be. That's not half.
Okay.
So you will take 12 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, and then I'm
Okay.
also resistant to necrotic,
Yep.
so I have to 6.
Yep.
Type.
Sweet.
But you are
6 is a lot
unable
better
to
than 20.
Awesome
regain
marker.
hit points
Oh,
until the end of your
shit.
next turn.
Oh, ass. Okay.
You see Tempest.
Shit ass.
She kind of like holds the axe in front of her and begins. All right.
Oh, that sucked.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah.
What does this breath look like, by the way?
Just this black and green noxious cloud that was just released from this thing's
Beautiful.
mouth.
LA
Okay.
smog.
It is then going to take flight.
Fuck. Sentinel.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Come on, baby. 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
oh, good.
Oh,
Yes.
that's huge.
So she is staying
Jesus.
put. It is staying put, whatever it is. It's going to take. I don't have anything else up yet. So, 10. Well, actually, I do. So it's going to actually be. Or no, that's only on my turn. Never mind. So 10 points of slashing damage.
10 points of slashing. Okay. As you, it goes to fly, you just, and you give it a big slice across its chest, kind of knocking it into the wall, pinning it back to the ground.
Hell yeah.
Just pissing it off now.
That's what I'm all
All right,
about.
that's going to be the end of its turn. It is Redrick.
All right. Before I rage, I'm gonna like prepare myself mentally for a second, and then I will go into the and like you see the breath kind of come out, and like his other claw arm kind of like scales up and becomes a claw with his left arm too, and then he'll run up and kind of like dive at this thing with both claws out.
Get it.
So let's make my 2 attacks. Both of these reckless, of course. Here comes the first one. That's gonna be a 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
Alright, for 9 damage.
9 points of damage. Okay.
And then as a bonus action, one more claw. That will be a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
Sweet.
Bro, how fucking great is it going to be
Fixed
when we have
damage.
extra attack?
Oh, I know, right?
I can't wait for level
I've
5.
already got 2.
Me neither.
Sometimes. That was only 6 points damage.
Okay.
I'm so glad I remembered Reckless Attack
Yeah.
after a couple fights of not using it at all.
All right, Redrick, in that same primal like pounce that you like to do, lash out twice, leaving deep gashes into this thing's body. You can see this purple-like blood begin to pour from the wounds that you are inflicting on it. Anything else?
Let's see how far I've moved real quick. About 20. So I'll move. I like prowl around it kind of and get over here. Come there. And that'll be it.
Okay. It is now Egg. Calder, you're on deck.
So Egg having to see this creature, though it is an amalgamation of things. The fact that it has dragon-like creatures sort of kind of freaks him out, catches him off guard, and just sort of starts to freeze and not really sure what to do. Question, DM, can I make a wisdom saving throw?
Sure.
Okay. So that is a 14 total.
Okay. That's up to you. It's your decision there.
Ah!
It's a very middling roll.
Yeah, I know. And the fact that it's up to me.
Make your decision.
Eggball just kind of sees the creature and is unsure what to do, and just, from what he's been told and from what he knows of his past, he freezes and just kind of locks up and just stares at this creature.
Okay.
And that's his turn.
Alrighty. We are going to have Calder cast us on deck.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, cast us on deck. Sorry.
Okay. So we get engulfed by this billowing blackish greenish breath, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You guys see it start to take off and then get smacked into the cave wall and hit the ground. And as that breath dissipates, you see Calder panting heavily, holding his sword. His eyes, those of you that are close enough to see, covered over with black pools, and from his back sprouting bony, dark, skeletal wings. He's going to strafe to the right, just kind of brushing past Castus over here. Is that... Would I have flanking with Redrick there?
Not exactly. You would have to move a little bit farther to the right.
Am I able to squeeze there? Or Okay. And then I'm going to Hunter's Mark homie.
Okay. Hunter's
And
Mark.
Attack.
Mark.
At advantage. Ooh, shit, 2 19s. So, 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
And I'm gonna smite.
Smite it up.
Alright, mark that spell slot. I'm like so jazzed right now, I'm shaking a little. Alright. Do I use an extra d8?
What was that?
Do I use an extra d8? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
Ooh, a lot of dice.
Oh, yes. Okay. 15, 20, 26, 27, plus 4 for 31, plus another 4 for 35 points of damage.
35 points of damage.
So his sword blazes.
How
with
much
that
of it
black
was
and
the
silver.
radiant damage?
Radiant is 15 plus 20 points of radiant.
So, you unleash this massive strike, and as the wings kind of come out, you see the blade of Calder's kind of light up with this same silver and black flame. He slices down, and the flame itself, almost like the breath that just exited this beast's mouth, but with a ferocity. You see it kind of light up the air, and all of your eyes kind of lights up the area around you for a moment as it just slashes through this creature. But as it takes the blow, it kind of looks at you, and you see that your flames just get absorbed into its body as they kind of dissipate into this black smoke that kind of like flows off of its body.
More where that came from. And as he says that, you hear his voice kind of in like multiple pitches and registers at the same time, like 3 or 4 floating together.
Very cool. Anything else?
That's me.
Alrighty. Castus. Tempest
The
is
first thing he says is, "You have wings? Since when?"
I don't
As he
even notice
runs
you.
Away.
I'm locked in.
I put some distance between me and the bear creature monster thing.
Okay.
All right.
It's going to take an attack of opportunity against you.
Okay.
One momento. So it is going to bite out with its mighty jaw here. That is going to be a D12 that I rolled, not a D20. So moments. That is going to be a 21 to hit.
Yeah, I'll take that.
All right. Mm-hmm. So you are going to take 8 points of piercing damage as this jaw just.
Son of a bitch! And I swing around, and I fire. I'm gonna spend a grit. Come on, hit. Ooh, that's a 19 plus 7 for 26.
That'll hit.
All right, it's 2d10s. Ooh, that's a 9 plus 3. It's 12. That is 15 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to action surge and fire again.
Get it.
Oh, that is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
All right, fire one more. Oh, no, that is 9 plus 12 more points of piercing damage as I just unleash.
My man.
Points. Vulcan, once again, the loud noise of the pistol getting closer and closer to you. Ringing out twice. It always seems to get closer to you whenever he decides to shoot nowadays.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
So that was attack, action surge. I will hold off on that, and he'll just say one more. Not he doesn't know that Calder can't hear him. Like, we're going to have a conversation about this later, and that is the end of his turn.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
oblivious. Like, totally zeroed in.
All right. It is now Tempest's turn. I'm coming! And you see her go, twirl the axe around and grip it with both hands. And she just charges in towards the beast. And she's going to make 2 slashes with this axe here. Let's see. One's going to be a natural 20, and the other is going to be a natural 20. 2 natural 20s.
Oh, let's go,
So-
Tempest.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck it up.
I think you should quadruple the damage, DM.
Oh, Captain, my
It's only
Captain.
fair.
On a d12, she rolled a 12, so that's going to be 24.
God damn.
Oh.
Plus
Quadruple the
4,
damage you did.
28. Plus an
Egg Ball's
additional
getting
8
replaced.
is 36 points of damage for Tempest.
Okay.
God damn.
I mean, I don't know who will cook you some pretty good food, but all right.
He charges in, and you can see who is closest, Egg and Calder. Or not Calder. Egg and Redrick. You see the water actually begin to form around her axe as it flies past you. It's almost as if like the axe itself attracted water from the pool as you see it kind of flow to her axe, and now it kind of has this watery shimmer to it as she goes to a real big uppercut, and you see as it hits this splash what looks like a tidal wave kind of over the bear as it gets smacked. All right, this is going to be her turn.
Drop lands on
is
me and just kind of like sizzles off.
Exactly. Isaiah, you're up.
Well, I thought this was going to be a lot more impressive. No, he'll turn over to Ook and be like, well, shit, I guess just do what she did. And then he's going to run forward a bit. And as he's running, he's going to take his hammer in one hand and stop and almost look like he's going to hit something and hit blank air. And if this hits, I'll tell you in a second what kind of thing shoots out. That's 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. Does 9 plus 2 is 11. 2. Oh, following up on this water woman apparently doing a tidal wave, a just moderate-sized bolt of ice comes out and stabs him in the side for 11 damage
11 points of damage.
as the chaos bolt comes forward.
Awesome.
Fuck it up, fam.
So Isaiah, you
Yeah,
run up
would
and
kill
you're
him.
like, just looked
Dude.
like you used to throw the hammer. Instead, you hit the air and it almost sounds like you're smacking a giant piece of steel. And as the tidal wave kind of emerges from the top of the bear, you see this like large icicle kind of form in the middle air and just go whoosh, and smack down on the bear before it shatters into a million pieces.
Yes.
Anything else?
Oh, no, that is my turn, but
Okay.
my good boy is going to run up and try and do some smacking on this thing.
Okay.
What a first round of combat. God damn.
I don't think any of you missed.
Wait. I think Ook is going to try and keep this thing on the ground. Nah. Let Calder hit it more by it trying to run away. That is not as successful, though. That is... Yeah, that's a 1.
That'll not do it.
No.
As Ook kind of comes and runs up to go smack it, the creature just ting smacks its head, the horn off of Ook's massive iron fist and just sends it wide. Anything else?
Nope. Yes, sir.
Okay. Falcon. After this
Alright.
thing, you trying to blind this thing and it kind of resisting your magical effect, you back off a little bit.
She's just gonna send a firebolt and summon a little ball of fire and poof out towards it. Hit, it's a 7. So 11 plus 7 for 18.
18, that'll hit.
And it does a d10, which is this die. 7 points of fire damage.
Okay, 7 points of fire damage. As you reach out with the firebolt, you see it hits, and it hits this thing's chest, but it looks like kind of just leaves this pockmark on its chest. Seems to have affected a little bit, but not as much as you would want.
Noted. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Staying where you are?
Yep, staying where I am.
Okay. Ren,
Okay. Am I hidden from this thing?
you are not.
I'm not. Okay. I am going to. Yeah, I'm gonna just pull up my short bow and take a shot. So that is a 15 to hit.
A 15. That will just hit.
Okay.
Thing does not have a high AC.
All right, and so sneak attack. That is 5, 7 plus. Well, it's 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage,
Alright.
okay?
Yeah, 11 points damage, and gonna back up a little bit more and bonus action hide.
Roll me spell check.
That is a 16.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you were. Well, here's the thing: you're pretty sure you were hidden last time, but then you noticed just as you appeared behind the tree, it just took notice of you. So you're definitely hidden now. So
Okay,
okay,
and that is my turn.
all right. So it is now its turn. So the first thing it is going to do is going to see if it gets its breath weapon back. does not. So it is going to make 3 attacks. It is going to make 3 attacks on you, Calder, since you stopped it from moving.
That's
Oak
fair.
will impose disadvantage on the first one.
Okay.
Try and just grab one of the horns and keep the heads away.
Okay. So the first one's going to be, it takes this massive claw and it rakes out at you. Even with disadvantage, it's going to be a 16 to hit.
Just hits.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Then the massive jaws come and clamp down on your shoulder. That is going to be a 16 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then one last thing, the tail whips around, and it comes in and almost tries to pierce you with its massive horns that are on the head of this tail.
Yeah.
Let me see, make exactly.
Tailhead.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's just actually. I need you to make me a strength saving throw.
Whoa. Okay.
Calder's one good save. Here we go. Aw.
14.
Okay. I'll let you know what happens here in a moment. Make sure I got all my dice.
Oh dear.
Is it what are the damage types?
Piercing, slashing, and piercing. 2 piercing, 1 slashing.
Okay.
Okay. Rolled kind of low.
Can you do each attack separate for me for concentration check?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So the first one is going to be 7 plus 4. That is going to be 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Hang on. Concentration check. Hunter's mark drops.
Okay. You no longer have Hunter's Mark. The next one, he rolled a 1 on a d12, so it's going to be 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And as the tail comes and smacks you with these these large bull-like horns, you are going to take an additional 7 points of damage. You are knocked prone.
Okay. Yikes. Y'all see Calder get fucked up.
It is now going to take flight again.
Sentinel.
Go ahead. Disadvantage.
Why?
You're prone.
Attacks are at disadvantage prone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So straight roll because flanking.
Yep.
Okay.
Flanking
So that'll be a
Roderick.
22 to hit.
That'll hit.
Hunter's mark is gone. Save these. 4 plus 4. 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage.
As
Okay,
she
once
tries
again,
to
go ahead.
fly away, I'll from the ground, kind of like trying to get up, just jam the sword into its leg and yank it back down to the ground.
Slams down next to you. The head with the horns almost just like piercing next to you as it falls down. You see the 2 horns into the ground as it rips
So
itself
just-
out.
Bleeding from getting fucked up. You're not going anywhere.
All right, that's going to end its turn. It is now Redrick. Egg, you are on deck.
Alright. I want to kind of like... This thing's like huge, right? So I want to kind of like take a step onto this, what looks like the rock's a little higher here. Maybe it's turning into a wall and just like jump up and kind of grab down on its back. I want to like
Okay.
grab on because it looks like it's trying to fly away.
Okay.
I don't know how you want to rule
You
that.
gonna try to grapple?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to do? Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be contested.
Alright. You have advantage from rage. 24 on a nat 19.
It only rolled a 20.
Let's go.
So it is
Let's go.
grappled. As Redrick, you jump on. As Calder jams the sword into its leg and rips it back down to the ground, you take this opportunity to leap off the wall. And you now are dug into this thing, kind of, and it's trying to
So
reel you off.
if it's a huge creature, I'm pretty sure I can't grapple it and keep it in place. I kind of
Right.
just want to be like on its back.
Right.
Like so, if it
Yeah,
tries
that's
to
what-
fly away,
that's the
I'm going
flavor.
with
That's
it.
the flavor.
Okay,
That's the
cool,
flavor I was
cool.
trying to go with.
Just making sure. And then since a grapple is an attack as part of the attack action, I will do bonus action for the claw.
Sure.
So let's do that. Reckless, of course.
Of course.
Oh, nat 19 for a 24 to hit.
That'll hit. You guys just are not missing
I
today.
know. 7 damage.
7 damage.
Yep, with the claw.
Okay.
Just trying
Kind
to
of
hold
lands and
on.
it's starting to breathe heavy. Tell you guys are definitely wounding it for sure. Done damage.
That's all for me.
All right. Eggval. Calder on deck.
All right.
Right.
Alright.
Having seen my allies just given their all, more, I guess, just more specifically, Calder having to keep it on the ground. Redrick now having just to jump on top, and the Tempest just literally giving all that she can. I will go ahead and roll another saving throw.
Okay.
That is okay. With my allies having to give everything that they can, I kind of just sort of like shake my head and sort of think to myself, I have to get back into this. This is important. My friends are in danger. I will use my action to cast Bane on this creature.
Okay. That's a wisdom save.
It is a charisma save.
Charisma save. Okay.
Though it's 3, I'm only just casting it on this creature.
Okay. What level were you casting it at?
I'll do second level.
So that is going to be a 17 for the save.
That saves.
For the
Okay.
record, just so you know, higher levels of Bane
Yeah,
just mean
only
you can do more
increase the
creatures.
I know.
Yeah,
it,
but I mean,
it matters.
Okay.
It does matter for this specific reason.
Gotcha.
Because as you go to cast the spell Bane, you release the spell, and nothing happens. Except you feel this odd effect upon yourself. You are now baned.
Oh lord.
Oh.
Oh. Anyone else? Can target
It's now-
more creatures.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so now Egg feels the feeling of what he's. Egg feels the feeling of his own spell and is now confused and starting to go back in that same state and just sort of stays where he's at, just like, what's going on? What's happening? And that's just the end of his turn.
Okay.
Aw.
Calder, you are up. Cast this on deck.
Whoa, oh buddy. Wow. Yeah, just bleeding profusely. Sword in this thing's leg. Calder will use the sword like in its leg to pull himself back up onto his feet, yank it out, and then using the momentum kind of twist it around and bring it down. Is flanking gone now that Redrick's on top of it?
I would say so. Yeah.
Ah, fuck ass. All right.
Damn.
Apologies.
You want Wolverine, or do you want advantage? Your choice.
Exactly.
I want
Take your
advantage.
pick.
Easy.
Well, I want Wolverine.
Boy, yeah. Without that advantage, I'm not gonna hit. It's a 9.
That'll miss.
Ooh.
As you go to strike this creature, it's interesting. Your blade seems like it's going to strike. As you do, where your blade makes impact with the creature, it turns to mist for a moment, and then it kind of reforms into the bear's body.
Okay. So yeah, I guess my sword will just go through that like misted area and strike up a clod of dirt, and I'll yank it back out of the ground, and that's me.
Okay, Cassis.
Okay, I'm gonna do what I do. I shoot. Okay, come on.
Shoot Redrick.
17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, come on. Ooh, gross. It is only 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. Okay.
And
You hear the loud
bonus-
crack of the pistol and a thud poof, as the bear gets hit once again.
Alrighty. Bonus action, second wind, just in case. So that
Okay.
is 1d10 plus 4. Oh, that is 11 points. I heal up. And that is the end of my turn.
Okay. It is now Tempest's turn. I'm assuming you got up from being prone. Calder.
Yes.
Tempest is going to swing around here. And she is going to strike out at this creature. She's going to get advantage. Not as well this time. Let me see. I have her right here. That is going to be a 14. She swings with her axe. Yeah, 14, 13. Yeah, no, she misses them both. So she swings up with her axe. Once again, every time the axe goes to hit the creature, it whoosh, whoosh right through it. What is going on? She screams. That's going to be the end of her turn. Isaiah. You're up, Isaiah.
He's thinking
Hey,
it's
don't
really
get you
hard.
back up when I'm done. So I'm just gonna run up and try and do a haymaker swing on this fucker.
Okay.
Get it.
16 plus 6.
That'll hit.
For what is the multiplier on this? Or not multiplier? 4 and 5. That's total of 9 damage from me.
9
And
damage.
then
Okay.
follow it up with Luke. Come on, boy. You can do this. Does he have advantage from flanking with Tempest?
Yes, he does.
Good.
I lost track of where the little monkey was.
It's only a 17. But I think
That'll
that
hit.
still hits. Yeah.
That'll hit.
And that's another 5 damage.
Okay.
So let's just start
Combination.
laying into this fucking thing as we try to trust an egg to keep Calder on his feet.
Yeah. And as you swing, you make impact with this thing. You can see as your hammer hits it, kind of shoots up these different types of sparks of like blue, almost like blue flame. Especially whenever Ook hits, it sends up these sparks specifically. So it's interesting. Anything else?
That is everything we can do.
Okay. Back to the top. Velkin. Ren, you're up after that.
Seeing a lot of the attacks, saying Valken's gonna, I think she cast it before, or no, she casted a similar spell, but the pocket watch, it's gonna spin, and a clock-like pattern is gonna appear below the bear, and shooting up through it, she's gonna cast Magic Missile.
Okay. Roll the damage.
Do I roll 1 dice and then a
You can
double
roll
it?
the dice. You can roll. Isn't it D4? 2D4? What level are you casting?
I'm gonna upcast it so it's 4d4 plus 4.
Okay, just roll 4d4 plus 4.
4, 2, 6, 3 is 9,
9,
plus 3 is 11.
12.
12.
12.
12,
Close.
12 plus 4.
12 plus 4.
16,
Okay,
nice.
16 points of damage. As you can see these, what do your magic missiles look like?
Like the needles of a clock.
Ooh, very cool. As they come up and you can see these purple like flashes kind of emerge from underneath the bear's body. You can see it begins to like back up a little bit, not sure what just hit it. Anything else?
Nope, that's my turn.
Okay. Ren.
You said I was hidden this time, right?
Yes, you are.
Cool. All right. And this round, seeing Calder get fucked up and so many of my friends like missing it, I just want this thing to die. And I know that I'm a little bit faster with my daggers, so I'm gonna kind of let my short bow fall to the side and manifest a dagger in the first hand and toss it. And that will be that's not great. That'll be a 15 to hit.
Just hits.
Okay. Alright. Sneak attack. Okay, so that is 9. That's 13 points of damage. And then
Damage.
with my offhand, I'm going to summon another dagger and toss it. And that's going to miss. That's a 12. That misses.
Miss. The second dagger you throw hits the wall behind it and it kind of bursts into this green magical like energy. But the first one finds
cool.
the first one finds purchase and it kind of like melts into
So
its
pretty.
body. But anything else?
I'm just going to kind of move a little bit, and that is my turn.
Okay. So let me see. It is now its turn. Okay, rolled a 6 on his breath. Very nice. So what is going to happen now is that Redrick, as you're on top of it, at first it seemed surprised as you had jumped on top of it, your claws digging deep within its hide, and then all of a sudden it kind of like relaxes, and you fall to the ground, finding purchase on the ground. And the rest of you see this bear-like creature dissolve into the same mist that it had breathed out of its mouth before, and disappear.
What?
Before it reappears.
Ah, shit.
Shit.
Damn it.
Let me see where it wants to go.
I assume this is not attack of opportunity possible.
It does not. Mm-mm.
Oh.
Ah, well, I
Right.
haven't been
Oh,
here yet.
poor egg.
It's nice knowing you.
Poor egg.
It's actually going to go back here. So it is going to unleash its necrotic breath on all of you.
I'll make a
It's going
cone.
to be Tempest and Eggval. I need you to roll me Constitution saving throws.
You got it.
Minus a D4 for egg.
Yeah, and it's a D4
Oh,
for
yeah.
Eggval.
Oh, hold on. So,
Fail this as well, I believe.
This sucks so much.
Mhm.
so I'll say the roll. So it's a 17. I rolled a d4. It's a -1, so it's 16. Plus 4, that's 20 total.
All right, you will
Nice.
save, so you will take half damage here.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me get my dices.
And I'm checking.
Where they went.
Hey, sweet.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
That's not good.
Oh, no.
It's 10,
Never a good sign when the DM sounds like the Kool-Aid Man.
20.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Plus 8. That's going to be 36 points of damage, reduced to half, so 8 points for you, Egg.
Oh.
All right.
Damage.
I'm glad I'm not in that.
So I am going to use my reaction to hold my breath. So as I see it disappear into that sort of mist, and then I see it and then I notice it happen to then reappear in that same mist behind me. I will quickly hold my breath, and I'm going to choose to use Stone's Endurance to try to reduce that amount of damage.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and roll that d12. So I will use that same type of die. So that's the d12 plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, man, that's a 3 plus 1, that's 4. So what was 36 half
18
18
points.
minus 4, so that's 12. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
That's 14. 18 minus 4 is 14.
Got you. Okay. I'm
And
so happy with
Tempest
that. All right.
takes the full blunt of this. She kind of like collapses to one knee, breathing heavy. You can see the water that was surrounding her axe kind of fall into a puddle around her. That's going to end its turn. Redrick.
Well, I'll kind of just like fall through it and just like kind of like the mist, like kind of try to grab at it for a second and like look over to it, and I will use this. I suppose it's for the first time, but I'll do my Gift of the Chromatic Dragon, which basically you see like as he gets like angry. He's trying to grab at this mist, like starting from his claws and like working its way up each arm. These flames begin to like and like light up along each arm as any like water left just starts to fizz away and like sizzle as it goes into the air. And he'll just run at this thing and try and hit it with a big claw.
Okay,
Right
awesome.
across its face. So let's do that. I'll try and get into that space there, and make a claw attack. So reckless is going to be a 19 plus 5, 24.
That'll hit. That'll hit.
My other rolls for the reckless attacks have been so bad every time. It's been like an 18 and like a 2, and then it's like a 19 and a 3. And let's get some damage. It is 7.
Okay, 7 points of damage.
And that's me. Oh wait, the fire damage. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that. And the fire damage is, I believe it's a D6. Let me double check this here. A D4.
I think it is. Oh, I
It's
thought it was
D4.
D6.
Yeah. Gotcha. So an extra 3 fire damage on top of that.
Okay. You can see the flames and they kind of sparks that you leave across when you rake your claws through it, but they kind of just get evaporated into the bear's flesh.
Hmm.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Eggval, Calder, you're on deck.
All right. I am going to start running in the opposite direction, at least away from the giant big old cloud. Straight to Calder. What is that? Was wait. Yes, I think that was 15 feet. I will use my action to cast Healing Word at 2nd level.
Bless you.
No, bless you, good sir. So let me go ahead and roll for that. Wait, no. I'm sorry, not Healing Word. Cure Wounds. That's my fault. Cure Wounds. That's what I wanted because that's why I ran to you. So it's touch.
What's your wisdom
That-
modifier, right?
Yes, sir. D8. That's this one, and that's this one. That's a 5 plus 6 plus my wisdom modifier is a 2. So that's 13 points of healing to you, good sir.
Big time.
Right on.
And I will
Grazie.
immediately try to steal myself. I will cancel Bane on myself. Which has no actions whatsoever. I'll just cancel it. That just feels really weird. And I will immediately run back to where I was and yell out, "Find somebody closer to size!" And I will bring up my longsword and ready myself for just a strike out for it next time that it comes to myself, or next time that it comes to my turn.
Okay. When you try to drop Bane on yourself, you still feel that effect. The spell that is on you is no longer yours. So
Okay,
you are still
that's
Bane.
still fine. Okay, that's still fine.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm still gonna do what I want to do anyways, but good to know. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Calder, Cassis, you're on deck.
Okay. Ooh, I guess that's probably in its. Okay. I'm gonna run up. Meow.
You can also fly if you have wings.
I cannot. They're
Yeah, no,
skeletal.
no,
They're
skeleton
skeletal.
wings.
Don't quite have the wind resistance for that.
Yeah.
You're trying.
Yeah. Just doing little
Bones
hops.
just fall
No.
apart.
Egg runs up and like touches me to heal, and I just kind of you hear the like multiple pitches in his growl as he rushes past and runs by, holding his sword up. I'm gonna go and run over there and attack this thing.
Okay.
Straight roll. That is a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Uh, 6 plus 4 for 10, plus another 4 for Necrotic Shroud. So 14 points of
Okay.
damage.
That's 14 points of damage. It was 4 necrotic.
Correct. Yeah, I think the extra is necrotic damage.
You are correct. Okay. You
Yeah.
release the necrotic energy as it kind of like evaporates out of your body and it kind of encapsulates your sword as you strike down upon it. You can see that same energy as the radiant kind of turn into a mist and kind of get absorbed into this bear as well.
Does it look to be like strengthening it, or just not as effective?
It's hard to tell in the midst of the chaos. You can just tell it's not being as effective as it normally would.
Okay.
That's all you can really tell at the moment.
That's my turn.
Okay. Castus and Tempest.
Okay. Let's fire at it. And ooh, that's a nat 20.
Nice.
All right. So I'll be 1d. And oh, that's not a great roll though. So that's 3, 6, only 9 points of piercing damage. But I do get my
Every
grit
bit,
back, so my next turn I'll be able to use that again. Well,
Mhm.
technically. Okay, that's my action. I have no bonus action to use. That is the end of my turn.
Okay. This is now Tempest. She gets up from one knee. Fine. Play that way. She runs. She's going to squeeze past you. And step into the water. You see at this point, she kind of stands in the water and readies her axe, and you see this the water kind of vibrate for a moment and begin to rise up around her. She's going to take one attack at Chimera. Natural 20.
Ooh.
It crits
Do
are
it!
nothing with this
Do it!
one.
That's what I'm thinking. That was a 10 on the die, so 20 plus 4. That's going to be 24 points of slashing damage.
Nice.
The NPC gets to kill it.
It is looking rough, but not quite. As you see the water kind of begin to envelop Tempest. And she slams down on the back of this thing, kind of causing its hind legs to like buckle beneath it as it stands up once again. It's going to end her turn. Isaiah.
I suppose if it ain't broke, make it that way. I'm gonna run up a little bit past Redrick. Well, I was here. So actually, is this flat terrain where Calder and Eggval are?
Yeah, I might impose like 5 extra feet towards your movement if you decide to.
So
You would easily be able to go like here by walking around, but if you were just to jump up like from where you are to next to Eggval, it would be.
all right. So let me just go. Yeah, let me go past Redrick then.
Watch
Keep
out,
us
it's a little
bit
hot.
spread out.
There's some fire.
Fire's never bothered me. I work forges all day, boy.
Boy!
Boy!
It's Kratos.
Youngin.
21, that'll hit. Boy.
For 10 damage.
10 points of damage. Is that bludgeoning?
Yep. And it is a magic weapon, just in case. And my good boy is gonna run. He'll give Eggval some room. And he'll keep
Okay.
spreading us out. Go around him and try coming in from the other side.
Ook.
Oh! That's a natural 20.
Natural 20.
Ooh,
Um,
nice.
It,
How many
it doesn't
20s
have
does
much
not bad?
damage, so it just comes out to 10.
Alright, 10 points of damage.
Ook
This
punch.
thing is looking rough at this point.
Hell yeah.
As Ook runs up, and you can see his fist begin to glow red, like almost as a piece of metal is beginning to heat up. As like, and you see these blue sparks kind of light up the area as the thing is. All right, Falcon, you are up.
Gonna do the same thing I just did. Second level magic missile.
Okay, you can't quite see it, so you probably have to like move
Oh.
around towards, the cave mouth or something like that to get a view on it. There you go.
Right next to Castus.
You're good there.
Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points of damage.
All right. Vulcan, how do you want to do this?
Hey.
Go.
So the it's the same thing as before. So the clock opens up below the feet, and it's just skimming around Isaiah and Redrick and Calder's toes. And there's this jab, and this final one just goes like right under the chin, just up through it before it dissipates.
Okay. All of you that are around this creature, you see this intricate-looking clock begin to form with these glowing lights beneath the bear-like creature, and you see the same as you did before, as these clock hand-like needles begin to pierce it. And the last one goes straight through this thing's face, and from this thing's skull, you begin to see this light appear. As it explodes into this blinding blue flame. Those of you that are close, all of you have to put your hand up in front of your eyes as you're all kind of blinded for a moment. Those of you that are in range here, yeah. So Tempest, Isaiah, Redrick, Eggval, Calder, and Ook. I need you all to roll me Constitution. No, well, let me make sure. It's Dexterity saving throw.
I look at Ren and Velkin. Distance buddies.
Yeah.
The Dex characters are in the back.
It's like, oh, did something happen up there?
Is this an effect
Do you
that
see
I
some
can
blue
see?
light?
It
I'd
is.
imagine
You can,
yes.
it is as this thing is beginning to die. You can see it begin to glow blue.
Gotcha. So I have advantage on this, and I got a 6 and a 1, so didn't help anyway.
Okay.
8.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
I got a 13.
18.
You got an 8.
Okay. Tempest needs to roll. Egg, what did you roll?
18.
Okay, so you passed. Everyone so far has failed, including Tempest.
Oh no.
You all take 35 points of fire
Oh,
as
God.
this eruption just
It's down.
explodes from the bear.
I will
Including
use,
myself?
Yeah, you see Calder get just like blasted back and like rolls on the ground. His wings kind of retract.
I will
Wait,
use my
does that
gift of
does
the
that
chromatic dragon resistance for this one.
does,
So.
does that also include me?
Yes, that no, you take half of that. Sorry, 35 reduced to half. So that is what?
17.
Numbers. Thank you.
Okay.
Isaiah and Ook are down.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Who's down?
Ren,
Right.
even from you behind the trees, you have to kind of shine your light or hide from the light because it does light up this entire area. Imagine staring into the center of an atomic bomb almost. Like it's just that bright white flash for a moment.
Jesus. So is it
Running. Running
Is it
forward.
just Isaiah and Calder that dropped?
Ook, but yeah.
Okay.
Potion. I
This
have a
is so-
potion.
Go.
Yep. I'm gonna run and
I'm
the
still up though, right?
Calder can heal, so I'm gonna give the potion to Calder.
As you run up, you can see Tempest kind of like in this backward stance as you see the water kind of fall from around her, just like into the puddle. What was that?
Good question. Save it for later. Potion.
Okay, who are you healing?
Wait, hold on. Hold on. So you're using the potion.
The healing
That's
potion.
what she said. She's doing it. Go ahead and roll.
Can I stop you from using the healing potion?
You could heal somebody else while she's healing the potion. Calder.
Well, he's unconscious. Egg's unconscious.
No, I'm
Is he?
not.
Oh,
No, he's not.
he has that
That's
symptom.
what I'm saying.
I am not unconscious. I am barely still alive. I am barely still conscious. But
You have
if I
two
see
people
you,
down on the ground.
if I see you using a healing potion, I will try to stop you.
Like, okay, you do it. Just somebody
Wait,
heal.
wait, stop! Stop! That's what I'm trying to do. What is it? And then I guess I will go over to everybody, and I will use each person that is down. If I can, I will use Cure Wounds at first level. So whoever is down, you will get 1d8 plus my I believe it's plus my charisma modifier. So fuck d8. So I guess first will be Isaiah. That is a 6 plus 4. You get 10 HP. Who else is down? Calder. That is 4 plus 4. So that is 8 points of HP. Is Ook down? Does Cure Wounds work on Ook?
You can't
Yeah, I
help
can't.
Ook.
Is anyone else down? It's just the two of you, right?
Yes.
And then I also want to ask: is Bane still on me, or is that
It
gone?
drops when that thing
Okay, good.
dies.
Question. This thing was vaguely draconic, right?
It was.
And is its body still there?
It is nothing but ash.
Okay.
You see, as the light kind of fades, you see floating down into the water. These as it hits the water, it kind of gives off steam, but these blue little ashes and sparks kind of fall around all of you.
Then I will start trying to calm down. I don't know if I can, but
You can.
all right.
I reload just in case.
So one
Uh,
hand and then the other
Velkin
Gonna look
will
for-
offer
pushes himself
Calder
up.
a hand.
Ren's gonna look for any sign of this lady's brother.
Okay. Perception check.
Everybody all right?
Clean the blade and sheath it.
After Egg ends up
11.
having to make sure everybody's up, he is going to walk away from the party and just kind of be with himself for a little bit, just sort of a distance away.
Perception check, Red.
It was 11.
It's pretty obvious, almost, where you think her brother is, because at that moment, you see Tempest kind of push past you as you're heading towards the mouth of the cave, and she just runs straight in.
If I
Going
see
with
her
her.
going, I'm gonna run after her.
Yeah.
I will too, because I'm fairly well healed.
It's kind of a
Yeah.
ragged sigh as I give chase.
Calder, stay back.
I'm fine.
Oh God.
Okay.
Isaiah is down on his knees next to Ook, trying to find all of the pieces and start putting them back together.
Okay. Roll me just a tinkering check. The rest of you, I'm assuming, are chasing except for Ook and Isaiah. Redrick, are you following?
I'm going to take a second to
Make roll, I guess.
calm myself. Yeah, and I'll just look down both my hands and try and force the claws back and just sit there for a minute, just make sure I'm good before.
Yeah,
I
not
go. Yeah.
And at the moment, Eggball is basically just disassociated from the party and is just kind of
Okay.
walked away.
Okay. The rest of you following in this cave. It is dark, but you get about 15 or so feet in. You see that it opens up into about a 30-foot wide space. You can see there's remnants of the sheep that have been mauled and kind of torn apart all through this cave. You also see Tempest kind of slide on her knees and grab a body at one point. Come on. She kind of slaps him in the face. Come on.
I'll run up. Can I check just to make sure he's actually alive?
Yeah, so as you get closer, you see him blink his eyes open. This gentleman, he is all red in color, and you can see kind of this reddish browns. I would say more bronze than anything. His skin tone. You can see his hair is in this mohawk-like structure, but it is made of these beautiful yellow-like crystals that kind of intersect with one another into this mohawk, and he kind of.
Does he look real
Tempest.
fucked up?
He does.
Okay, I will.
Fucked up that he is missing one of his arms.
Oh fuck! All right, I'll run up and drop down to my knees next to Tempest and reach out a hand over his chest and dump in 10 points of lay on hands.
Okay. And at that point, he says, "Tempest, yeah, I'm here. It's okay." She kind of looks up at you as you rush down. You can see the wound begin to cauterize, almost in this earthy cauterization, as it almost these dark granite blood clots begin to form on where the arm's missing up towards the shoulder. And he kind of just at that moment just passes out, and she like picks him up. He's quite small in size, probably about the same size as Velkin, rather thin. His armor's kind of tore apart. That was like a leathered like jerkin. He has no weaponry on his side or anything like that. But he is probably, he's very small, and she picks him up, just kind of walks past all of you.
Is he wearing armor?
What used to be armor, yeah, like leather-esque armor. So
okay, I'll just, as she like picks him up and starts to walk away, I'll very quickly scan and see if I see anything that look like maybe his weapons or other belongings that I can just grab and
perception
bring.
check.
Yeah, I would take a look, see if there's anything other than dead sheep bodies or anything like that.
14.
Ooh, that's a
14?
perception that's a dirty 20.
Okay. With both of you kind of looking around this area, you notice that you see a small little buckler kind of tossed off into the side, encased in some mud. You see a small, what looks like a scimitar, except it's almost rounded like a sickle, but it's made of this beautifully like red crystal that kind of like hooks. And it looks all kind of like ragged and not really like well polished or anything like that. Kind of sitting on the opposite wall. Is the only type of equipment that you see.
Do these strike me as being like the right size for someone of his?
These are definitely his.
Okay.
His belongings.
I'll collect those then and follow Tempest.
But Cassis, you do take note that there's only one other body of a sheep here. So the two that were dragged were definitely drug in by this thing, right? But there's no other signs of any other carnage here. And it looks fresh. These sheep look, freshly killed.
I will, as we're leaving the cave, I'll bring that to attention. Like, how many sheep were supposed to have gone missing? Because there's only like 2 or 3 in there.
No other bones?
Not that I saw.
Check the other side. There's another cave, right?
It's just an overhang, but we can take a closer look at it now. I'll just go check it out and see if there's anything in there that we missed.
There's nothing. It doesn't even look like this creature had made an attempt to enter this part of the cave or this outcropping. You only see sign, even around the surrounding area, of the 2 sheep that were probably drugged from town.
Maybe it consumed everything, or maybe this isn't the original cause.
I don't know. We could always check up top.
Did you see what that thing was
You all
doing?
check. I need to get back to the village. And you see
Yeah.
Tempest just walk
Okay.
Tempest,
to the tunnel.
Tempest.
You're welcome.
your brother's things. Do you want to take these with you, or?
She doesn't seem to hear you. She's just walking.
We'll just
Yeah,
we'll
I'll
bring them
I'll stow
after.
'em.
Yeah, we'll just put them in our packs and.
Duncan will send Yorins up. She'll wait to whoever's closest and reach out a hand for support, and then send Yorins up to look at the top.
Perception check.
I know he has a +5 to this. 14 + 5 for 19.
19. Yorins does not see any signs of any bones or any remnants of sheep. There's one thing, though. He sees something, a figure, about 2 or 3 feet in length, land in a tree top, in the shadows of a treetop. Just above where you guys are kind of at.
Can he stealthily fly over?
You can try. Give me a stealth check.
Okay, he gets a bonus to this. +4. 17 + 4.
17 + 4 is 21. He gets just above this creature, and Yoren's through his eyes, you can see what looks like a small little serpent with wings, kind of slithering its way, and it curls itself on a very tiny branch just above where all of you are sitting.
I
You
would.
can see it's bright blue complexion, purple dots on the back, and it has like this yellow underbelly. And Yorins kind of makes a small little noise, and see these eyes kind of appear through the dark, and it vanishes.
I would probably still be outside at this point. Is there any chance I caught that?
You
Snake.
probably saw Yorins. Actually, give me a perception check. We'll see.
Okay. Let's see what we got.
Well, what's your passive perception? Actually,
Oh, okay. I believe 13.
he did not see either.
Okay.
And it's with that we are going to end our session tonight.
Mystery.
Flying snake.
All right.
Okay.
Before we go, I gotta shout out White Rice All Day in the chat. That's my friend.
Yeah.
LJ. Gave 5
LJ.
tier 1 gift subs today.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We love you. Thanks for tuning in. And we also had 3 first-time chatters: X Dark Matter, Abstraction of Said Crown, and Aiden Crayon. Sorry, and Aiden _. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed what you saw, and hope to see you around later.
Yes, sir.
Welcome,
See you guys
welcome.
later.
Bill?
All right,
Bye,
bye.
See you guys next week.
Good night.
Next week.